There's no one even here. There's no one here to know of the chew on that I've just had trying to get this live stream to be horizontal instead of vertical. I've quit doing this about 6 times in a row. You've probably seen if you were looking. You probably weren't, I don't know. Right, okay, well here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to post this on Facebook while there's no one here, just talking to myself. Okay, great stuff. People, I couldn't, I couldn't get, I couldn't get the live stream to be horizontal, and I couldn't work out why. So that's why, Richie. I'm looking at bonjour from. Oh, hi Josh. Why are you in France? What are you doing? Are you? I don't know why I'm asking you. Be playing a card game? I know you will be. Yeah, Richie. It kept uploading, so I had to keep doing it this way every single time. And yeah, right. I'm gonna have a drink. I should have got something harder. How do I make these? I was being a card game. Okay, awesome channel, but thank you, youngest. How do I keep that chat still? Why doesn't that stay up? Ah, hang on, press this button here. Nope, I have no idea what I'm doing. Aha! Now Jamie. Now Rich. Now Vicky. So odd with no hat. You're scaring the kids. Hang on. Better? I don't want the light bouncing off my head and blinding you all, see. So I'll keep this on. It would look like that guy from SpongeBob in the Krusty Krab when he's looking at King Neptune's baldy head. My eyes! Hi, Just Gem87, hello. How are we doing? Is that an apron? No, it's my it's my Fast and the Furious Tyrese vest. I'm okay, thank you. I'm just I was struggling to actually start this live stream off. I didn't know what I was doing. Up to you, boss. Okay, thanks. If I get too hot, if I start overheating, I'll take the hat off, and then you'll just have to cover the top of your screen over. Definitely. The stream's been going for 30 seconds and I'm getting ripped already, sound. It's not an apron. It's not a tumour. Right. I guess ISSU enlarge the chat text. This is baby steps here. Baby steps. How do I do that? I don't know how to do that. Oh, good spot. Good spot. That was from the. There was a special Chaos Space Marine Warband, that wasn't it? That was from those books. Why does the chat keep going away? Am I supposed to read it? You're talking about that one there, aren't you? It was actually an artwork done for a novel, I think, first, and then they just used it for the Codex cover instead. How am I supposed to deal with this when the chat keeps disappearing? With the hat off, it looked like Right Said Fred, we're trying a new. Can I even swear on these live streams, or do I get done? But you mean in the Iron Warriors? Why does my chat keep disappearing? You're gonna have to keep typing, I think, or unless I work out how this actually works. All chats are visible, yeah. I want all chats to be visible. How hard's that? Careful, Valak be around with his heavies. He doesn't like competition. Bring it. You got some of the most immersive battlefields in YouTube game. Thank you. That's what YouTube stopped caring about swears, if I remember correctly. What's up from California? Masterclass. California. Hey. Shouldn't, is it morning for you? It must be morning. Night? I don't know what's going on. I don't know which side of the world you're on. But the chat keeps disappearing. I don't know, like Vicky, I don't know how to keep the chat up. I don't know how to make the chat bigger. I'm just going to have to lean forward. I did have like plans for what I was going to do. So this is Scuttles. This is Scuttles. As long as you have appropriate marking on the stream. Marking? Keep crushing, man. God bless you, mate. Getting lean, dude. Thank you. Thanks, John. This is Scuttles. It's my thwarted bloat drone. Is that a Bonnie thing? Bonnie Blue? I'm not doing this. There's not going to be a Bonnie Blue stream, mate. It's not. You've come at the wrong time. That's after 12 when things get like that. I might try if I can to do a bit of painting on Scuttles. It's actually a Venom crawler, but I took the guns off the side of the Venom crawler and mounted the heavy blight launcher, and then turns out the front of a bloat drone just fits kind of on the front of a Venom crawler. So he's got like his other face, which I snipped off. So he's got his front plate from a bloat drone on there. John, I'm currently up to this. Well, I'm going to try to, but I'm marking like an age rating thing. No, I've done that. I've turned off the, I've turned off the, it's like a button you press, like, is this suitable for kids? And no, it's not suitable for kids, because apparently, according to Josh, I can swear. So if Richie sets his lip up anymore in this chat, I'll be giving him both barrels. Venom Crawls are my favourite demon engines. They are pretty cool. If it was up to me, though, every single Chaos Legion and book would be getting a ton of demon engines, and it annoys me that Emperor's Children and World Eaters don't have a ton of them in their codexes. Yeah, you better laugh. So I'll try if I can to paint this while looking at the this chat that only pops up for a second when you type, which is really annoying. How that's happening. Why can't the chat just stay up? This is my first live stream, so swear away then. I will do as soon as Richie starts again. You'll be getting an Alpha Legion Mecha Hydra would be sick. You mean like that can combined with other legions mechas as well? I can swear. I feel like I'm getting tricked now. I feel like the chat's tricking me into swearing, so like my live stream gets shut down. Like, yeah, Rich, you can swear. Go on, say it. Say something. Go on, swear. I'm not fucking got him. All right. I suppose this is a hobby channel, so I've got a quick shout out to you, Warhammered. Really enjoyed watching your battle broads. Thank you very much. What kind of equipment do you use for filming and video editing? All I use, mate, is this phone. I say, I've done it already. I swear to God, if people start trying to catch me out, you know, you read it out and you start saying like horrible stuff. Just don't get your knob out unless it's an orc one. That's only for super chats. That I'll helicopter my orc knob. Got 2,000 points, a decent standard. The Jetpack bound Zealot army. All right, I thought you were going to say the cultist army. I was like, John, what I use for editing and filming is I've got these are my microphones, which are DJI mini mics, the same ones that Daily Dice uses, and I just film on the phone I'm talking to now. So I have my normal phone, which is smashed to pieces and doesn't work. But I use an Oppo phone, which I just went and bought from CEX secondhand. I just said to the last behind the counter, I want one that's got a decent camera, and this one's got quite a good setup where it can do like 4K filming at 30 frames per second or 1080p at 60 frames, and I just use that, and I edit my videos with an app called UCut. So you just put all your videos into UCut, and then you can just chop them down, do whatever you want with them, and then you can place track like music over the top of them or audio that you've recorded and stuff, and it's quite simple to use really. And I'm getting quite good at the stopping and starting when I'm recording, so I don't really need to do much with it when I'm recording battle reports, I suppose. Thank you, Alan. Thank you very much. I was going to try and paint terrain, but last time I did actually bring terrain, to be fair. I've got this thing, it's called a something. Chaos thing. There you go. Ooh. I brought this down to paint. I've got Scuttles, to paint. I've got me, if you've seen from the thumbnail, I've got my Kratos, which I've been putting the transfers on, and to try and get there, just getting somewhere near ready anyway. How do I get that chat back up? I have a pack for early flight. Hope you and Scuttles have a fab stream. Thanks, Josh. I remember building that. Oh yeah, that's right. I didn't actually build this. I got oh Michael. Hello, Michael. Your Christmas presents are here. Where's the chat gone? Right. Cheers, Marcus. Only Orc. What kind of equipment do you use for filming and editing? The new Sonic Dreadnought would be amazing. Yes, it would be. That's what I mean. A Sonic Dreadnought would be amazing. How big is the pile of shame? You have so many painted models, but you made HRV. Good Christ, that was nearly. My pile of shame is a room. My pile of shame is a place that you can walk into. That's all. That's my pile of shame. Rich, haven't hobbied in a long time. Well, go get your stuff now. Still the narrative side, and also love your back reps. Army is always beautiful. Thank you very much. Nice, thanks for the info. No worries, John, mate. Get that you could download and just have a play of it. It's great. Yes, mate. How's it going? Will you pick up the new Maggotkin Battle Tome? It looks a lot of fun. The Maggotkin Battle Tome is there. I haven't got around to reading it yet. I don't know what to get for the Maggotkin yet. I'm going to get Festus the Leech Lord. Definitely. I already have a load of Putrid Blight Kings, so there's no point in getting them. So I was going to get the. I'm not sure if I rate. I don't know what I think about those great big fat guys on horses. I think I prefer the ones riding the flies. So I'm thinking about getting the Pestigors and some of the stuff from Darkwater instead. I really like the Pestigors. Oh, and the sort of mid-level, the Chaos Warrior sized guys, they're really, really nice. So with the swords and shields and that, I really like them for the Maggotkin. So that's what I'm thinking about getting for them. Any hobby plans laid out for the new year, Marcus? Yes. So obviously I've got my Sons of Horus that I'm on with. I'm going to be doing the Sons of Horus. Excuse me, I'm choking on Monster Energy drink. I've got my Sons of Horus. I'd like to start my Dark Oath for Age of Sigmar this year. I'll always be adding in extra stuff for my armies like Iron Warrior, Space Marines, whoever else. Yes, I would do painting videos that are just a nightmare to set up and edit if you try to do other things. Rot Swords, is that what I was thinking about? Rot Swords, is that the mid one? Rot Swords must be the ones I'm talking about, like the mid-level, in between a Blight King and a sort of a Marauder or whatever. I really like them. Does anyone else think that those big fat ones riding the little horses look silly? It looks like if I went and started riding around on the back of a Jack Russell, do you know what I mean? It just looks a bit silly. So I'm just not keen. I prefer, like I said, the ones riding around the flies. I think that's a more unique looking. I guess they're trying to make someone who looks like he can go along with the really cool Harbinger on the horse, like the Death Rider look. But I want to do my Dark Oath. I want to do them all like very, very tanned, like Conan looking. Yeah, like Schwarzenegger Conan, I mean. They look like they do look like they're riding ponies. Iron Warriors painting video. People need to know your secrets. But funny enough, I've just bought some more yellows because I'm sick of the GW yellow always. So I've got 3 Avalanche Sunsets here that are all dried up and get lost. So I had to go buy another one. That's probably already dry now. I bought it like a few days ago, so that's probably already gone rock hard, like me right now. And I thought I'll pick up some more army painted yellows. Maybe they're not as chalky, so that's just in case for whatever I paint next for my Iron Warriors. I'm not quite sure yet. I've got like a million things for my Iron Warriors to do, and I've just finished that Warsmith. If you saw that on my Instagram, I'll try and get him in a thumbnail for my next Iron Warriors battle report. But ideally, for my Iron Warriors, I'd like to. That's what I'm saying about the plans for the armies. I've got a Forge Fiend and I've got a Hellbrute with missile and plasma cannon, and I'd like to maybe do like a more shooty themed Iron Warriors. You'll be deeply dippy for the army painter yellows, they're great. Yeah, well, I've been using the army painter, these greens for my Sons of Horus, and they're fantastic, especially with the how I'm painting my Sons of Horus. So I'm using, I need to get some of the pro acrylic eye. I'm not doing my nails like you, mate. I've been using um, sponges from dishwashing to paint my tanks and that. So basically just dabbing it on and painting it that way. So you see how it will it focus. I was just looking at my grill, but it gets a natural like gradient of the colour. I really like how it comes out and it's quick because I ain't got time for spending forever on armies when I'm doing Warhammer dishwashing. Just like dishwashing tutorial, what you do is you put it in the sink, let it soak, and you come back a week or so later, and then you soak it again, and then come back later and put more stuff on top of it. Have you tried those weird teardrop makeup sponges? They're magic. I tried, but I couldn't get it. I couldn't get it to work. I'll be honest with you. I think it was Dave gave me some of his missus's makeup sponges, but I couldn't. I just ended up preferring using this. I preferred the sort of like the bubbles of these sponges are a little bit bigger, which is better for what I was wanting, and the look of the sort of on the tanks and that. I preferred it made it look a bit more sort of damaged. It's satisfying as hell. Wait, what's satisfying as hell? Hang on, I need context. Oh, you mean using a sponge? I hope you mean using a sponge. Which non-GW painting range do you rate the most? Well, I'll be honest with you, mate, I'm a bit of a GW fanboy, so I've always just gone for that. So I've already just started branching out in army painter, but I know that Geordie Joe, Sven Custard, Dulux, I've just been doing that in the house. My mate Geordie Joe used to come on the channel. He was getting massively into the AK interactive range of paints. So when you look at how the salamanders on the channel, the ones that I haven't painted, the ones that Geordie Joe painted, his are done with the AK interactive washes and things like that. So they've got a slightly different look to them. He used some of them on the Corn Demons as well. So I basically what I do is like I basically just go off. If I watch the comment is brilliant. Thanks for putting all that effort in, gents. Come on your show. Thanks, Tom. Thank you very much. That's cool. I'll just try to buy something. If I ever watch like a painting tutorial, I always try to like buy something that the painting tutorial sort of showed me. Do you know what I mean? And I'll sort of expand from that. I've still got like that, you know, like it's not a white spirit, like like an white oil, because I was going to copy making a plasma globe, but I've not got around to it. That's what I was going to do on the Hellbrute and the Forge Fiend that I was talking about. But I've repainted them so many times now. I think I'm going to need to strip them before I paint them again, because when sometimes you can't get something to look right, and you end up putting more paint on it, and you think nah. Then you just give up, which is a shame, because I would like I was saying, my Iron Warriors, I'd like to run a more shooty Iron Warrior list at some point, rather than my sort of mid-range jump out of Rhino's list that I'd sometimes run. What else am I going to do? So then, as far as projects is going off the Iron Warriors, please sell me your sister terrain, it's epic. 10 grand and it's yours. I would like to get on with doing the Imperial Knight, Chaos Knights for the House Olympia. I really want to get that Knight Tyrant built. Personal highlight from Warhammer 2025. I was really buzzing when I uploaded the terrain video, and I got like Valrak commented on it, and then Luton commented on it as well, who's got like 1 million subscribers, like a massive YouTuber, and that made my day to see that, just like the acknowledgement I got from that. And then that video got me into the hype top 100 as well, got a number 56, I think. So I mean, that was one of my most recent videos, but I was really, happy with that because I've got a terrain set finished, cut short. I've got really good feedback, got really good views and stuff like that. So it felt like a good accumulation like of what I'd been doing. So I was really happy with how that went down. I wish I could have got Horus Heresy out in 2025, but just with stuff, real life stuff, things like that, I just haven't been able to, and I don't want my Sons of Horus to look pants. Now, Carl, just got back from Nottingham GT. Did you get battered in every game? Are you hitting up a GT anytime? I am, but do I have to play on the MDF terrain? Because if the answer is yes, then my answer is no. You know the crack, mate. Do I have to play on L terrain ruins against? When can Joe come back? That's my question, Carl. Do I have to play on that horrible terrain that'll make me want to gouge my own eyes out? When can Joe come back? No, I don't have any friends who play Craftworld Elder. I don't hang around with those kind of people. But Joe, I pester him all the time. He's just got life stuff going on. Your content belongs in the list of mate. Tell me about. I wish I could quit digging holes for a living and play with toy soldiers for a living. That would be great. About to head out. Keep crushing it, man. Definitely got the top slot for Warhammer Pages. Thanks, John. Cheers, mate. Have you seen the Noxious Blightbringer that someone modded with a can of Monster? Yes, I have. Someone sent me that on Instagram. Wasn't it like loads of cans of Monster, and it was like seeping cans of Monster like out of the back of him? Richard, what you saying? I was a fanboy for GW paints, but I got pain in the hole. It means his anus. Replacing them every few weeks. I only use the Agrax Null Oil, couple of contrasts now. Everything else replaced by AP Interactive. Yeah. Wait, AP? You mean AK? Now Ben Con guy, now mate. Thank you very much. Please sell me right. Well, 10 grand. There you go. First player biggest. I've done that before. I went to a Fogram. I went to a Lord of the Rings event in a nearby town, and I took 3 Lord of the Rings tables with me. I took Rohan, I took Osgiliath, and then I took Dol Guldur with me as well. Depending on the viability of it, you could look at Tabletop Tactics RTTs. They do every now and again. They're also immaculate trained. Yeah, I mean, I've got to drive all the way to the other end of the country to get beaten at games. But still, I do like Tabletop Tactics. I used to watch them all the time until they became my rivals. So I just go there and just smash everything up, flip all the tables over. And what are you going to do about it? I'm still a sucker for Citadel paints with the pots of truly. Yeah, you know what it is, right? I don't have a problem because one of these paint pots, right? These army paint pots. Everyone goes on about droppers and all that, yeah. I had a dreadnought, my plasma cannon dreadnought from my Aurora Legion, yeah. And one of these had the paint dried on the end of it, right? So I give it a shake, and I was like, gonna blow me load on the pallet, and the end of it popped off, right? And I bukkakied my dreadnought with white paint. So to go back to the Bonnie Blue thing from earlier, that's what my dreadnought looked like, and I've never moved so fast in my life. To get up, run to my sink, and pour hot water over my dreadnought to get all this bukkake off my dreadnought because of these pots, and that wouldn't have happened with a GW pot. So I'll not hear this slander against GW pots, even though they are pants and pinstripe all the time. I'm struggling to keep up here, right? I'm still sort of AP Army Painter. Oh, AP Army Painter. Right, okay. I understand now. I'm on board. Get yourself the Emperor Gold from Army Painter. John Blanche said it's a new favourite gold. Probably very useful for Iron Warrior pauldrons. If it's similar to Retributor Gold, because that's what I do for mine. God, my knees. Warhammer Winters SEO. Well, to be fair, Sam who lives in Redcar, same as me. He's been on Winters a couple of times now. I think he's been on like 3 times. And to be honest with you, I'm a nightmare for going up my emails. So for all I know, I could have been contacted by everyone. The Emperor could have emailed me for all I know, and I've just been ignoring him, left him on ignored. But I'd go on Winters because I feel my game's very similar to Winters. We've got the same gaming mat and all that. I think it'd be really cool to like get my Sons of Horus ready and go on Winters and give him a game with my Sons of Horus. Go pester him. I'll do it. Any thoughts on other or older GW games? Not long ago, played a weekend in Mordheim. Was great fun. Well, I never really got into Mordheim, but I think, well, it's just been replaced by either playing Warhammer, the new Warhammer Quests now, or playing Warcry, because I love Warcry, it's great. I remember the lesson you taught me with Dol Guldur versus Balrogs. Is that when I used to have the army with all the Castellans of Dol Guldur? Sorry for spamming so many questions. I've not done a live stream before. Same. We're both popping our cherry, mate, so don't worry about it. The Johnsonator, the Lionel Johnsonator. Good evening. What are we painting? Well, because of this chat thing, I'm painting nothing basically. I'm getting a shoulder pump from constantly scrolling this. This is Scuttles, who I was going to try and attempt to paint tonight. But I need like a third arm, not a third leg, all right? Yeah. Anyway, I don't know why you're being dirty. Right, Rich lad, that method you sent me for doing my Swarm Lord was absolutely mint. I tagged you, but I'm quite new to YouTube and how posts work. It was right method. Yeah, I've seen a comment. I commented back, and I asked if you had a Instagram page, because I'll share it on my Instagram, because that looked mint how you did that. That Tyrant, the Leviathan Tyrant. Bonnie Blue, Bukaki, Nort. Yeah, very. My man, Flash Gits. Am I right? Grim Dark. Yeah, you made me laugh snot on my live stream. Where's my chat gone? Yeah, so many Morgul Blades versus 3 Balrogs or 4. Yeah, I remember. I sold all them. I want sweet model, yeah, attempting to stream and paint isn't always the best. I'm not even going to be able to paint. I know I'm going to do it. I have to these people who've only got like one arm or something about her. Where I'm trying to scroll and paint all that. Don't know I'm going to do it. Hang on, no one's commented. No one's commented for like 2 seconds, so I can do it now. Oh, these are handy, by the way. All right, now Carl, you back. Right, matey, good luck. Check in, but I'm knackered. Off to wash the shame of defeat away. Catch up soon. Right, enjoy your kit, mate. Enjoy crying yourself to sleep after being whooped. I saw that Richie got your moustache, but he's a cheesy power gamer anyway, mate, so I wouldn't worry about it too much. Good night, mate. Ideas for paint stream would be for you and one of your mates to just chat about gaming while painting and just have us along for a ride. Well, to be fair, the reason why I'm doing this live stream now is because I just wanted to see if I could get it to work, and it took me about 6 attempts to get it to work anyway. So my tip has gone hard, and so has my brush. Daily Dice was on about doing like a dual live stream thing. So I guess while one person was answering questions, everyone could sort of paint like, oh, can Rich paint this model up during the live stream and get it done? Which I'm game for, but I've got some free time tonight. So I thought I'll give live streaming a shot and see if I can just work out how it works. And it took me 6 attempts, so I'm glad that I actually tried attempting it, because it was an absolute pain in the rectum, as Richie would say, the other Richie and me. Yeah, boy, Rich doing live underdog. Now Bazza, you all right, mate? Get some stuff posted on your channel. Because you're painting all the time, mate, so you might as well put it on your channel, mightn't you? PC or tablet helps with live streaming. I have a PC, I have a laptop right there, but I'm a caveman, so I don't know what I'm doing. So that is probably a good idea, because that way I could have the chat and I wouldn't have to keep touching the screen. Oh, what have I done here? Right. Oh, good man, mate. Yeah, I'm just trying to wrap my head around this live streaming stuff. Good evening from Poland. Live streams a big stuff. I'd like to do live streams more often, really, if I can get on with actually painting something, you know what I mean, while I'm live streaming, and just check in with people, or just let people know what I'm on with. Is Death Guard your main 40k army? No, I think I would like, I think I've basically got 4, haven't I? Iron Warriors, Orcs, Death Guard, and then I've got my Aurora Legion. They're like the 4 main armies that I have that I'm adding to. Then I've got like a small Chaos Knights army, which is like an extension of my Iron Warriors. Well, I hope those rumours are true about Orcs being the 11th edition box set. What I would hope for is basically it to be like whatever is Orcs in there. I would hope it would be like 50% updated stuff that already exists, and I would like the other 50% of the Orc stuff to be like new units. Do you know what I mean? I was talking about this before. I was like hoping, I was wondering whether they would maybe double down and go like down the route of like Beast Snaggers, but not Beast Snaggers, but like another section of the Orcs, Speed Freaks or whoever, and sort of expand on them. Maybe give you like what you would call like a troop choice, a battle line for Speed Freaks, maybe Truck Boys, but make Truck Boys more unique. Have them with like grapples and like bit more Mad Maxy looking, and they go around in trucks. Maybe get a truck in the box set or something like that, and you could like have a speed. Someone could do a proper Speed Freak army with boys on the ground and stuff like that. Lionheart, Orcs are the best. You are correct. Freebooter stuff. So that's what I mean. So they could just make it like generic Orcs. Do you know what I mean? So you got. I think the rumours was a Death Dread and stuff. So it was better than my Death Dread in my army. But if they do it that way, fine. Then I would like slightly chunkier Mega Knobs. That's what I would like. But I'm always game for new units as well. New types of units. And obviously you're going to be fighting Space Marines because of course, yeah. But that's fine because it's more Space Marines for me. What's your thoughts on the Dark Angels and Lion as a faction? Well, the Lion dragged his heels to see who would win in the Heresy, and then just whoever won he joined. So he's a sneaky boy, so you've got to watch that Lionel Johnson. I don't trust him. I don't care what anyone says. And also, don't ever read the book Descent of Angels, because that is a terrible, terrible book. Marcus, we've done a regular live stream schedule. I don't often have a chance to catch live stream, but I love having them on while painting myself. Yeah, well, I don't normally watch hobby streams. I normally watch I watch a guy called the MMA Guru. So he talks about the UFC. So I normally stick him on. Like that's how I actually watch the UFC events. I don't watch them. I just listen to someone live. I listen to someone watching it, which is mad. So I'll wake up like 5 in the morning and catch the main event of Guru watching the fights. Katachan Fang, awesome work, mate. Lovely community space. I'm painting along. All right, yeah. What you painting, Katachan? Let me know, please. Ever thought about doing an actual cool Chaos Legion, like who, mate? Like World Effers, Oh yeah, who are the World Effers like? They don't sound very cool. They don't sound as cool as Iron Warriors. So more grots. I've got 10. That'll do. And I've got some on my tanks. Drakari versus Orcs. I could sort that out. I want to get Andy to bring back his Speed Freaks. I have a Speed Freaks game on the channel as well. Freebooter stuff. New bikes would be brilliant. Well, for Orcs, yeah, it would be, yeah. But like I say, I'm always game for like them to add in new stuff as well. Like, you know what I mean? I've always been I've always sort of been annoyed by like when, I'm not annoyed, but I just think it's funny when there's new stuff coming out and people always only ever say like, oh, I want that thing that already exists replacing. It's like, well, what about new stuff? If you, do you know what I mean? I'm always sort of looking forward to what they could add in as well. Oh, not here, slander, but he is a king. He will be once he gets his new hands. How, yo, Warpforge. Yeah, I'm struggling with keeping up with this live stream, to be honest with you. Descent of Angels is shite. Yes, it is shite. Descent of Angels is one of the worst books I've ever read in my life. Does anyone else see a watch? Does anyone else see a watch? Oh, you watch MMA Guru, his class, isn't he? Right, just for people who don't know about the book Descent of Angels, right? It's the first book in the Heresy about the Dark Angels, and it's awful. Do you know Watches in the Dark, those little hooded dudes, yeah? In that book, God, right, in that book, right, the main character, whose name I can't remember because he's not very interesting, meets one of those Watches in the Dark in the woods, yeah? And it goes like into another dimension or something, and the Watcher in the Dark is like, oh, we're actually like a secret society who like watch over the galaxy and keep things in check and blah, 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 blah. And I was just like, so you're basically Niblonians from Futurama, yeah? You know, like how Nibbler is actually like a secret agent and he's pretending to be Leela's pet, but he's like a secret agent for the Niblonian race watching over in case the brains attack. That is exactly how they describe those watchers in that book, as the Niblonians from Futurama, and I was like, this is the worst book I've ever read in my life. But then again, Dark Angels themselves are ropey, not real Marines like World Eaters. Yeah, World Effers. Sent you a pic of what I'm doing, dry brushing for days. You want me to get my other, you want me to check my other phone as well now, do you? I'll scroll on multiple phones. Drunken painter. Now then, are you actually drunk right now? I hope so. I am within, I am without. Love your Iron Warriors, best legion. You are. Thank you, and you are correct. Battle for the Abyss. I heard was terrible, but I never read it. 11th edition box set surprise would be the return of Grot Tanks. I still need to read your email, Flint. Imagine they just did a Grot army as the starter box set army. Hey Warhammer, you big boy. I just had a 5-hour nice 2K game of Ultramarines new detachment. I've just filmed the 2 new detachments. I'm going to upload it at some point in the week. I did the drop pod detachment versus like the Bastion one, like the tactical one. Reconquest versus Orcs Warhorde, and had a freaking awesome stomper. I hope you won. It was epic though. It sounds like you won. Watches in the Dark are just goth jowlers. Thanks HRV147. Thank you very much. That's a super chat. Hey, I'll put a love heart on that. Watches in the Dark will be Dick Dixon get paid. I can't. You keep scrolling chat. There. I did a bit. Right. Sure, I have a beer. Cheers to you. Cheers, mate. I'm going to have a sip of Monster. Hey, man, you are kind of depressing to me. What? Hey, man, you are kind of depressing to me. You are personally more painted than mine. The thing is that you need to... shall we just leave you alone? Didn't know you could be a fan of Discount Imperial Fists. Imperial Fists can't even spit venom or go to sleep properly, so let's not be hearing any of that. They go to sleep properly when they get chinned by an Iron Warrior, though, right? Find a topic you'd like to speak for 5 minutes. Do not read any. Oh, you won't paint shit today, mate. It's alright, I wasn't going to paint anything anyway. I've put wash on both his toes. Look, he's got a bit of wash on both his footsies. It's alright, I'll get over it. Painting up, wait, Gazy Tiger. Right, painting up converted Ventrilian nobles. Who are them? Ventrilian nobles. Are they Necromunda or something? Ventrilian nobles. We joined the bees, but Daily Dice took my first subscription. P.S. Flight of the Eisenstein is my favourite. Flight of the Eisenstein is amazing. Flight of the Eisenstein, right? When what's his face? Garrow gets backhanded by Rogel Dawn is like one of my favourite parts from any of the Horus Heresy books, because like the way they describe, because that's the thing, right? Let's go into it, right? People going on about the Imperial Fists. I know they suck, but they always go on about them being like the stoic defenders, and you know they're all about like bolter discipline, this, that, and the other. But the thing is Rogel Dawn had like a split personality. He was obviously Mr. Tactics and Stoicism, and I'll build the best walls and all the rest of it, and I'm a master tactician. But he was also a massive hothead, which is why obviously the Templars were formed, because they were formed from like that side of his personality. Then you had like your Crimson Fists of the other side of his personality. So I think like doing like a close combat style Imperial Fist army makes sense to me, because of the way Rogel Dawn reacts to find out the Horus has gone bad in that book is amazing. He backhands Garrow across the deck of that ship, starts screaming at him, and pulls out his gigantic chainsword, and it's like he's revving it up, and he's about to cut him in half, and then that blonde lass comes in to confront Rogel Dawn, and he's all like with a chainsword above his head. She's only up to his waist, giggity, back to the Bonnie Blue thing, and she stands up with him. It's awesome. I don't know what those true metallic paints are. Who does true metallic paints? Valorek Imperial Fist Challenge when? I don't know. I need to message him. I'm too busy with work and fanning on with other stuff. It's like watching a documentary of a caveman discovering it. Mate, you should have seen it before I actually started this live stream. It was a joke. You're going to defend the five Imperial Fist players still alive. The 5 people who like painting yellow that much. Ooh. The best part of the Heresy series is The Thousand Sons, First Heretic, Burn the Prosper. I've read half of First Heretic and that was a really good book. My favourite book is Legion. I've got a tattoo of a Hydra on my hip because of, if you've read Legion, you know the soldier gets branded the Hydra on his hip, and I was going to get it branded on, but then I looked into how branding works and I was like, all right, I'll just get it tattooed instead. And Ben, who's in this chat now, he also has that tattoo as well as 6 other people have got that of my mates who also got that tattoo of the Hydra. My brother has it, Andy has it. We all have Hydra tattoos on our bodies because of that book Legion. I started it though, trendsetter. Petty Rabo, Daddy doesn't like my Gundam toys, bloody trench diggers. The diggers out of them. I wish I could find the Imperial Combat Patrol for retail, sold out everywhere. I can't remember which one that was. Dom was as angry and grumpy as Peter Rabo. Yeah. Maybe he's not as paranoid though. I just like yellow. I love lamb. Don't worry about it. How did you first get into the GW hobby? I first got into it when I was very young. My cousin Anthony had the 2nd edition display in his bedroom, which I've seen. Then just for walking past the shop in Middlesbrough, I went and bought. My first model I ever bought was Galrag, Gall Chewer. What's he called? The Blood Bowl player, Gall Chewer. He's like the star player. First ever model I bought was that. I just thought it was a cool model. He had his fist in the air with the fist spike, and I bought him when I was 11. Bought a couple of other models, and then when I was 15, Lord of the Rings came out, and me and my cousins knew about like, oh, Michael was also in the chat. He said, oh, there's models for Lord of the Rings. Do you want to have a go at doing that? Like our cousin Anthony does, painting the models. And me and my cousin Philip were like, all right, yeah, let's do it. But we'd rather do 40k. So me and my cousin Philip went halves and went and bought the 40k starter set. I think it was 3rd edition, where you got the Space Marines and a Land Speeder versus 10 Dark Eldar. I don't know why they thought that would be fair. Like, thanks for the gift membership. What have I done? What have I done? All right, Nightmare. I have no idea what I've done. Middlesbrough, I grew up in Yarm. You know around there. I don't know Yarm very well. It's too posh for me. Yarm. Cheers, Michael. Drunken Peter. Michael just gifted memberships. You've been gifted money, mate, for your channel, which is more cheerful place. Middlesbrough. Well, to be honest, there's nothing left in Middlesbrough. It's just tramps. So there's just tramps and empty shops, and then Greggs. So, I mean, you're probably safer in 40k, to be honest with you. Battleban. Battleban. Huh. Hey, thanks very much. Cheers. Let me just pop in quickly, Joyce. Cheers, Michael. All right, sweet. Ben, you're getting more Chaos tattoos. I'm getting it. I'm booked in for Thursday next week for another tattoo. I was thinking about possibly getting something Night Lords related, because I have a Night Lords tattoo on my right quad. So I was thinking about getting something done there. Hang on. Low key, I got glad I got out of Borough. Lives on in your heart, mate. You can never truly get away. Northerners do have better crack, you are correct. Borough is the home of the Borough Parmo, so there is that. I cut them for my wife. Middlesbrough sounds like Hull, to be fair. Yeah, well, yeah, but it's worse. I do love a Parmo, but I've only had 2 Parmos in the last like 4 months. I've been trying to watch my eat and try to get my stomach to go down and get something that looks a little bit like an ab going on. It's kind of working a little bit. Still eating pizzas though, so these got no calories in though. No one said anything. I can paint. Quick, before before someone says something quick. What the hell is a Parmo? Piss off, Richie, right? So, food of the gods. What the hell is a Parmo? Well, to be honest with you, Colin, right? I could describe it to you, and you'd probably think that that sounds like the worst thing you've ever heard in your life. But it's absolutely unbelievable. You're probably best off Googling it, like Middlesbrough Parmo. It's basically a load of cheese on top of chicken, breaded chicken with besh in between it. It's just unbelievable. They're about 3,000 calories a go. Hence why once I stopped eating them, I lost a lot of weight. So I highly recommend that you try one. But if you like don't live anywhere near the northeast, you're knackered. Parmo chips, baked beans with a Parmo. Check his hard drive. You don't be eating. You're not eating baked beans with a Parmo, are you? Is that what this live stream's come to? He's eating baked. Hello, police? Yeah, I'd like to report a crime. Yeah, Nightmare is eating his Parmos with baked beans. There's nothing wrong with baked beans. Yeah, he's still in the live stream, and we're trying to get his location now for you. Send everyone. Right, so it's the combination. It's like saying like, oh, what's this? Welcome to the bees. We got baked beans in our eyes at the moment, not bees. They're in my eyes. There's nothing wrong with baked beans, but like it's what you combine them with, innit? You know what I mean? Why is this green? What is this? I don't. What is this? I don't know what this is. Why is what you've said? Why has it got a big green bar on it? You're not letting the baked beans touch your palm, are you? You know, in my next battle report, I'm going to start screaming beans when Typhus launches his bees at someone. Beans! Just loads of beans going in someone's eyes. Ah! You know, some enemy Parmo getting sprayed with beans. Oh, me to oh, right, so they become a. I'm, It's all right, mate. I was getting ripped earlier for saying I was wearing an apron when I've got my Fast and the Furious vest on. Mortal Palmos. As long as it's Branston beans, I guess we can sort of come to some sort of compromise here. They're not like some horrible, like Tesco's own or whatever, with a watery bean juice. Ooh, God. Let's see it now, the watery bean juice like seeping towards the delicious Parmo, ready to soak the edge of it. Oh, God. Make a barrier of chips or something so they can't get there. I've been on 49 minutes and we're talking about beans on a Parmo. Right, so Catch and Frank, have you become a member? Is that what that means? If you have, thank you very much. I want to know what everyone else is painting up. Just drinking cold Tesco beans juice. Ooh. What's everyone else? Is anyone else like actually painting? Is anyone else actually painting right now? I know I'm not, because I keep having to scroll that chat. But is anyone else actually painting now? And if so, what are you painting? Let me know, so I know that at least I can be jealous of somebody else actually doing some painting. Building dark water bits. Don't they just snap together though? Don't the dark water models snap together? Death Shroud, good. Just finished photographying my Rogel Dawn for my Praetorian. Oh, right. There was a Rogel Dawn tank. All right, cool. I'm painting Blood Ravens tackle squad. Firstborn or Primaris. Just finished my Raven Guard captain, jump pack captain, putting details on Raven Guard. All right, yeah. Did you, course speaker? Did you see the? Where is he? Hold on. I'm back. Did you see the Aphon Shan that I did? Oh, God's sake. Anyway. I very much enjoyed painting him. He was cool. Painting terrain. Colin, my man. Photographing. Yes. Photographying. That's what I said, didn't I? I've got to get the dog out on a walk, then put to bed. The dog. Okay, good luck walking the dog and putting the dog to bed. Or putting yourself, who are you putting to bed? The dog? Off to bed. Oh, you're off to bed. I assume the dog will be as well. Good night, mate. Sadly had to pack away my gear ahead of my house move, but in the middle of 8-bound, just finished a World Eaters Tiger. Just finished a World Eaters Tigerius. What do you mean? What do you mean a World Eaters Tigerius? Tigerius, the Ultramarines guy. I need more context to what you just said. World Eaters Tigerius. Firstborn. All right, cool. So Firstborn is in Dawn of War game as well. Marshall, do you have the what you call him, Gabriel Angelos in Terminator armor with a big hammer, the one that was made by that other company because it was miles better than the one Forge World did? Building Satanizer converter to obliterators. Good. Are you putting guns in between the shoulders? Because there's definitely a space there to put something, like whether it's like a mortar or whatever. They're meant to snap together, but they still leave gaps or popping off pegs and gluing it together. It's not like you to turn your back on pegs. Yes, mate, I did. He's absolutely stunning. Thank you. Building some of the old ass Catachans. Ooh. Have you not seen those Catachans made by that other company where they've basically got vests on like this, with like bulletproof vests with like pouches on and stuff? But made by another company, they're miles better. It's like Death World Troopers or something like that they're called. They're meant to be just Catachan replacements, are really good, but I think they're quite big though. I'm working on my old Shan, but done him as a Space Wolf. Working on my own Shan, but done him. You've done Shan as a Space Wolf. Context. Got the White Scars character at the Wolf up too. All right, well that one shouldn't be too bad. Slater's B. You got B at the end of your name. Bees. Thanks, mate. Thank you. Cheers. He arrived in the post almost exactly on my birthday last year, so I had a gorgeous weekend painting up. I have joined, mate. Yeah, sorry for that. Wasn't very clear, to be fair. It's all right, mate. That was my first live stream, and I didn't know what was going on. It just a big green bar came up across the screen, so I didn't know what was going on. I should have put this camera close to me. I'm getting right shoulder pump here doing this. Into chaos. All right, okay. So so you're making a World Eater Tigerius. What are you using him as are you using him in gaming? What is he? What do you use him as? Buildnosaurus Scar Veteran on Agrodon. Is that the good new model? Not sure what to paint next. I'd get a Black Templar Crusade Ancient flag guy, but the rules are rubbish. Yeah, but aren't those flag guys good in the detachment that makes them good though? Isn't that what you're supposed to do? Hang on a minute. Finished the Boomdacker Snazwagon for Speed Freaks. Sweet. Oh, no, Fedros, you all right, mate? Sound. Way Rich, good to see you live. Now Irish, how you doing, mate? Welcome. Right, Reptilian Overlord. War Games Atlantic. What do you mean, War Games Atlantic? Oh, you mean the for the models? I'm not sure. I don't know who makes it, to be honest with you. I just got showed them before. Painting Wolfguard Battle Leader at the moment with a hammer and shield by any chance? Lionheart? Lionheart. The Space Nam, they got some cool stuff, but but I got a soft spot for the guys with the Sinfall muscles. Yeah, as a gift for the Ultramarines playing friends, so he can use it. Ah, right, okay. World Eater Librarian. I'm offended. Missed this. Shame. Well, to be honest, I'm just going to keep going. I've managed to put Agrax Earthshade onto 3 tours so far of scuttles, so I'm flying. Vindication Task Force flag guide attachment is a bit rubbish, unfortunately. Of course, of course. I thought the Vindication Task Force was supposed to be all right. Quickly, I'm doing another foot. This is how I normally paint my Death Guard anyway. Go around with Agrax Earthshade, and then I enforces. You need to read your chat. That's well, I'd have to. I don't understand him anyway. So currently painting Calgar and Assault Terminators. As you say, love me a brick of Terminators. Do you have 10 Terminators? That's what I want to know. And an Ancient to go in there as well, so you can get up to 12. Really scare people when you do a rapid ingress in game, because that would be sick. And have they got rid of the other Calgar, or is it you can just pick Calgar in? You have 20, excellent. Or can you just have Calgar in Gravis, or have Calgar in Terminator armor? And plus, if they were doing that right, wouldn't it have been a cool idea to just keep doing Calgars in different suits of armor, so he could be like Iron Man and he has like a different suit of armor for whatever occasion he wants to be in? You know what I mean? Like, oh, I'm doing this Terminator suit. So imagine now Vermin. Hey Rich, gonna start Astra Militarum. Still cannot decide. So my mini. Still cannot decide. So my mini. He's still available in Gravis. Naked. You still can't decide what to do for Militarum, do you mean, Berman? Oh, loyal or traitor? Well, have you ever built the traitor guard box set? Are you a fan of the what's that? Are you a fan of any of the 40k video games? I did. Well, Berman, you should. If you built the traitor guard set, you'd probably end up going traitor guard because the kit mint and there's loads of stuff. If you get the kill team one with the extra bits. I played Space Marine 2 and I thought it was absolutely brilliant, and I played the first bit of Dawn of War back in the day up to like when it was like the Necron one came out, and then the Necrons were super OP and they would just resurrect their entire army and do your head in. Well, Klaus. My name is Klaus. If you've seen John Wick 4. One of my favourite 40k artworks is, you know, the artwork of Calgar, where they redid the artwork of Calgar, where he's in the front and he's got the gigantic power fist, he's got the 2 honor guard either side of him. That's like one of my favourite 40k artworks. So if they did a version of Calgar in that sort of armor, like a redo of that, even if he was in like a static pose sat, that would be incredible. And like a power armored version. Progress is slow. I'm trying to paint Blood Angels along with World Eaters and Ultramarines, and progress is slow. As long as it's progress, Calgar and the Porcelain Throne model is required. Do everything. Just GW should just like lean into the meme and just start doing everything. Calgar on a bike, Calgar on a land speeder, Calgar on whatever, Calgar on an ATV with like a fist launcher on the back of the ATV. Just keep going with it until people get sick of it, like lieutenants, when they were doing too many Space Marine lieutenants every 2 seconds. Calgar on top of another Calgarception. Scout Calgar. Well, they could do Calgar in Phobos armor, couldn't they? He seems like too much of a chunky lad to be wearing Phobos armor, doesn't he? Look like me, lost too much weight. Calgar Servo. Do you fancy doing any of the specialist games? Now, Liam, what I want to do when it comes to specialist games, right? Because Calgar pod, the pod comes out of Calgar. It's like a mini one. The pod launcher. Trying to see when it comes to the specialist games thing, what I would like to do. So I don't want to tank views on the channel type of thing. Hold on. Oh, that's the good stuff. I know which artwork you're talking about. One who's got the big, massive, chunky armour. I think that's what they were trying to go for with the new Cortez model, but I think they missed the mark. I would like to do for the specialist games, I would like to do something like have a 2K point per game going on, yeah, and then alongside it have a kill team board set up and have it be that they're happening at the same time, both the games. So you'd have like a Space Marine strike, Space Marine kill team versus a bunch of, cultists or whatever in a kill team game, and then on the main 2,000 point game there's Space Marines battling Iron Warriors or whatever, and there's some on the kill team board there'd be something along the lines of like say like a big defensive gun or a power generator for like a shield or a void shield generator, but its power is off the battlefield and it's getting sabotaged, or the gun is getting activated for which side. So each turn of the kill team game is reflected on the main game going on. So say like by turn 3 they've activated the gun, you can then have the gun activate in the main game. So then like someone starts like blasting somebody, the Iron Warrior player gets their cultist activated, and then you blast a lot of Space Marines in the main game. That way I don't tank my views, because like they get much less views, and I get to create a cool narrative thing going on. Like the way I see it is like, if you're ever watching like Star Wars or a Star Wars film, it's always like, oh, what are like C-3PO up to in R2-D2 and stuff. They're not combatants, but they're always sort of active, doing something during action scenes, aren't they? So like that's how I kind of view what you would do with like a kill team game kind of thing. Like what are they doing? You've got the big battle going on. What are this kill team getting on with? So you could do the same. You do it with Warcry, couldn't you? You could have a big battle with your Soulblight Gravelords, and I could have my Oskurgan Trueblades trying to do something. Maybe it's opening the gate. Maybe so they're on the other side of like the wall. They're trying to get to the gate. You play a Warcry game against somebody else, like your appropriately themed faction. So maybe it would be like the crossbow dudes, the Wildercorps hunters. They're Warcry warbands. You play a game of Warcry, and if you win that, then the gates to the city open up, and the Soulblight can then charge through. That's more how I would like to incorporate sort of what you would call specialist game stuff into it. Like, so I haven't had time to really get into the Darkwater stuff, but I would, because I have Maggotkin. I think it'd be really cool to incorporate Darkwater into your games and try to like link them. So something that happens in a Darkwater game something that happens in a Darkwater game affects your game of Age of Sigmar, and people get to learn a little bit more about the lore, like finding out about Ulfin Khan from Cursed City and things like that. I really, really enjoyed that, and then trying to every time I added a new character to the vampires and stuff, and learn a little bit more lore, then how could I tie it in to what I'm doing with Ulfin Khan and the Island of Mournhold. Snickrot. That is a brilliant idea, having Snickrot leave the main game and then appear on the kill team game, like, because that's how sneaky he is. Where's my shotgun? Yeah, Ben, sometimes it does get a bit too competitive. I think one of the things that doesn't help is the current 40k terrain rules really don't help either, because you get absolutely blasted off the battlefield unless it's absolutely smothered in L-shaped ruins. Mentor Legion. I might think of a different artwork then. Well, to be honest with you, Nightmare, when it comes to like kill team, so you remember like when GW were like, for a time, there were every other week it was like a kill team box, Warcry box, kill team box, Warcry box, and every single time you got terrain and you got like those, the the cardboard gaming mats that come with them, and they were like unique. They matched the setting of the box. Well, I went mad for them, and every single one that they made, I bought 4 of, so I could do a board to match. I could do a full 2K board in that style, as long as it would match up with each other. So I've got almost all of them, which means, and then I try to like do like terrain sets. So like if you know, I've got like that blue and orange terrain set that was done for a kill team board. It wasn't done for a 2K board. It doesn't really fill up a 2K board, but it does perfectly fill up a kill team board. And I've got like a really cool like kill team bot like mat that it goes on. That'll probably be the first one I would do. Like it's like some sort of like moon base getting attacked and it's got a big gun on it. You know what I mean? Use a plasma annihilator to blast the main game. Cartoons don't need new sculpts, mate. You can't improve on perfection. I don't even think the first ones were sculpted, mate. I think someone just put green stuff on a model and then just went, right, let's get ourselves on, lads. Hairy meat, yeah, no, Jack, the bees. The new terrain you made is amazing, man. Thanks, Devon, mate. I really appreciate that, and the video did really well. I was buzzing. Our character progression for individual. Welcome to. I like Galaxy Bars. I also like Galaxy Bars. Thank you. I mean, you become a member, I think, and I really appreciate that. Thank you. I can already see Snick Rot. Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what I'll do, right? Because some of you seem like that idea for the Lincoln, the games. I'll tell you something that I've always wanted to do and I've never got around to doing it. And I think now I've got a YouTube channel. I think it would be great, especially if I've got someone who's good at like doing like creating it like digitally for me. I always had an idea of doing sort of the idea of like one person's the attacker, one person's the defender, in sort of a campaign type of thing. And so, say for instance, I go to Andy. All right, Andy, you're going to be like attacking this planet, and you're going to bring your Space Wolves. Your Space Wolves are going to be attacking this planet, and it's an Iron Warriors planet. And you have to write like a pool army. So your army is 5,000 points, and that would be basically you've got a ship, battleship, strike cruiser, whatever it is, and this strike cruiser, this battle badge has 5,000 points worth of troops on site on it. So you write up full 5,000 points, and then I'll basically go, here's like stage 1 of your war. So if you'd see I am within, brother. Like kill the Vargulf in game. Oh, please don't. So then I would basically go, here's your first stage of your war. So go, there's a moon. This planet has a moon, and this moon has an orbital defense ray on it. So you've got to do, you've got to take that on. That's a 1,000-point game. You've got to go there and take that out, and you've got to do like an orbital drop onto the planet, onto this defensive base, like it could be like a landing pad or whatever. You've got to take that out, and then there's another mission on this part of the planet. So that one's 1,000 points as well. So you've got like a 1,500-point game, 1,000-point and 2,000-point games. But your Space Wars have got to attack all of them at the same time. And I would deliberately theme my defensive armies around that. So like the orbital defense is not going to have a demon prince just sat there on an orbital gun. You know what I mean? It's going to have cultists and traitor guard, and maybe it's just like one overseer and Iron Warrior there. Do you know what I mean? Looking after them. Do you know what I mean? But because they're all happening at the same time, Andy's got to pick who goes from his pool to all different battles. So you can't have Logan Grimnar go to all 3. You probably send Logan Grimnar to the main one, and then he might send Ragnar off to another, and he might send a Wolfguard battle leader to the other, who takes them, but he takes them all from his pool because they all happen at the same time. And then you progress to the next stage of the war. I just thought that would be really, really cool. If I imagine you could do like the have it come up on screen digitally, so you've got like shows the planet, shows like the moon, and then it shows the battle badge and the name it's got for it, and it's like zooms in on the ship, and you've got the contents. It's got like 2 land raiders, it's got 2 or 3 dreadnoughts, it's got Bjorn the Fell-Handed in there, it's got 40 blood claws, 30 grey hunters are on board this ship. Yeah, so there you go. Even in Brown Bear. So I think doing something like that would be really, really cool. I would love to be able to film it all and then like edit it all together and maybe make something cool. But it's getting it all set up and planned out and all painted up and things like that. But like I say, I would Necrons won it, of course, because they're OP, and they get back up. and like I say, I would deliberately play to theme against them. So like it would be like as it goes on, you start off by fighting cultists and legionnaires and stuff like that, and then eventually as you go through, then you start to encounter demon engines and chosen terminators, chaos lords, demon princes, stuff like that. Yeah, I would like to think that if you could, if there was a visual of like what the army, the army that Andy would be like, for Andy for instance, would be pulling from, I'd like to think that that would be kind of cool. Like, oh, here's your free missions. Who's going where? Do you know what I mean? It doesn't have to be like specifically I'm taking that model, that model, that model, that model. It's like, no, mate, just give me the gist. Who's going there? Ragnar. Who's going there? Logan. Who's going there? Wolfguard battle leader. You know, Bran Redface, or whatever his name will be. Um, he's going to take that. You take that. You take that, and they'll be like the defenders of this base of this, defenders of that base of that. You know what I mean? Head this guy now, Valrak. What a, yeah, right. How do I kick someone out of chat for such heresy? Um, well, we're having less of that. There's far too many Imperial Fist players in this chat for my like. We need a bunch of Iron Warrior players to show up. Bran Redmore. I was just making up a name, to be fair. I forgot there was actually a guy called Bran Redmore. Eo Valrak. But doing that would give me the reason to paint up the other like Iron Warrior type units that I would want to do. Because if I was going to do a campaign like that, then I would want to have more of like the chaos cult detachments type units, which I have obviously. Set the game up. If you want to come to Middlesbrough, I don't know why anyone would ever want to come to Middlesbrough. Well, I live in Redcar, just slightly better. You can get an ice cream if you want and a Parmo. If you come over, I'll buy you a Parmo, and you'll probably never want to go back to Manchester, to be fair, once you've tasted the sweet, delicious Parmo. So be prepared to just live here afterwards. Uh, Devon, welcome to the Bees. Thank you very much. Does that mean you become a member? I think that does mean you become a member. That's pretty awesome. Um, was there, I believe, for Space Puppies? Yes, it was Alfaris. Now Chris, mate. Just wait for Perturabo. Well, yeah, I would meet me and when I was taking Andy home last night. We always have like, because it takes me about 25 minutes to take Andy home because he's a passenger princess. He spends all his money on Warhammer and won't ever do a driving lesson and get a car. So I spend half my life ferrying Andy about. But when we were driving back, we were basically talking about like which sort of faction of like, there's like sort of four. There's like, well, there's like, you got your Night Lords, your Word Bearers, you got your Iron Warriors, Alpha Legion, that type of thing, and then you've got Raven Guard, Salamanders. Who else you got? There's one I'm missing. There's a shitty ass loyalist chapter. Yellow, I think. Can't remember who they are. Anyway, so which one of those would maybe get like the treatment of like the World Eaters and the Emperor's Children? Do you know what I mean? To get Iron Hands, that's the one. Um, which one of them would maybe get the treatment? And then I was being Mr. Optimistic, and Andy was being the opposite, whatever the opposite is. He didn't think that they would do that, but I was like, I was just basically saying like, if you pick Alpha Legion and you give them like the treatment of like the Emperor's Children, well then what do? You just go, all right, we'll have a troop choice box set that can make two different types. You have like some elites that's like a box of free dudes who are elites. What would Alpha Legion elites look like? Probably like dudes with big hoods and massive sniper rifles or something that I'm in. Give them some unique cultists, some whatever. Then there you go. You've got it. If you want to give them Alfarius or Omegon or whoever, do it. You can sort of. I figured it'd be slightly easier to do that with the traitor legions than it would be with the loyalist legions. But then again, I don't see. All you got to do is write a bit of law, and there you go. You just give them their own unique units. Space Wolves have got their own unique units. Why can't I do that for the others? I don't see why not. And plus, like I was saying earlier about the Orcs and the new 11th edition box set, I'm all for, yeah, redoing older units, but adding in brand new units that didn't exist before. Didn't exist. Nothing exists. All made up. But yeah. I've missed Raven Guard. I have a recent Raven Guard army, but couldn't be asked to highlight black in, so they painted as Raptors. Well, Raptors are awesome anyway. I really like when people do Raptors tanks to look like modern military vehicles. How good was Storm of Iron really? Storm of Iron it's like up there with like my favourite books ever that I've ever read. It's one of the few books that I've read multiple times, along with Waylander. If you've got any David Gemmell fans here, yeah, exactly. Imperial Fists, because they can't paint hazard stripes. Yeah, exactly. The Imperial Fists have the correct amount of yellow on them. They haven't gone overboard. They haven't bukkakied themselves. You've seen Pete the War Gamers Raptors project. Well, I used to watch it. I don't know if he's done any more, but I used to watch it when he did his Waylander. I've got my left leg from my knee up is all a Waylander tattoo. Storm of Iron is absolutely mint. Yes, it is. He seemed well. As far as the Raptors project, I remember he did like 2 Kill Team warbands. He did like a Gravis one and then just a Phobos one, I think. And I remember watching those. I don't know if he's done any more since then. I haven't watched Peter War in a little while. Waylander and Drust the Legend. Yeah, they're the two that I tried reading. Oh, sorry, I read The King Beyond the Gate as well, but it wasn't as good. And I started reading Waylander 2 in the Realm of the Wolf, and I didn't think that was as good as the first Waylander. But Waylander and Storm of Iron are like the 2 books that I've read multiple times, because I read like, so it takes me a while to get through a book. He's done up a custom Land Raider and everything. It's pretty sick. I imagine he's got loads of he's got like tarpaulin over it and like Easy Tiger and like ammo stuff on the sides. He's done a Land Raider as well for the Raptors and some other stuff. I'd like to see his take on a Raptors like Dreadnought, how he would make that seem like more practical and military-like, but it's still a Dreadnought. That would be cool. Maybe he's changing the sarcophagus to look something more military. Can we see the Land Raider for us latecomers? Can we see the Land Raider? No, that's Pete the Wargamer, mate. That's not me. Chris, please don't please don't turn this live stream into our group chat, mate. Please don't do that. If memory serves, he gave it a Gladiator turret with the Gatling cannon. All right, on right. So it looks a little bit like an Abrams or a Challenger tank. Yeah, Chris, get lost. We're not dealing with you where you speak. It's already complicated enough for you doing your speech to text. You don't even know what you're saying. Oh, right. Well, what are we on now? An hour and 20 minutes. Let's have a look, see if I've missed any comments. Next time I might try this on my whatchamacallit, my what's the computer thing that opens and a laptop, that's the one. It's okay, Chris, right. Well, everything's gone quiet for a second, so it means I can get back to painting as we all can. And you can just listen to the ASMR of my Middlesbrough accent and how soothing it probably isn't to you, because I probably sound like someone who would rob you at a cash machine. But while screaming bees. Which Chaos Legion would you go if not Iron Warriors? Either Black Legion, so I could have like Abaddon the Despoiler, or probably Alpha Legion. I really like that Alpha Legion sniper character they released for Horus Heresy. I think he's awesome. Well, Death Guard. I've already got Death Guards. This is if I did another one. If I did another Legion, it would probably be Alpha Legion, so I could just because the book Legion's so good. This is how I met my Borough wife. Held up milk. Hi, Chewie. Chat to keep acting right. I'm sorry, Scuttles, mate, but you're just basically getting touched up. Basically, like you're getting blue balled, mate. Thinks he's getting painted, but he's not. Have a game coming up against Custodes. I'm thinking of taking Death Guard. Any advice? Yeah, screen with your poxwalkers and spawns or whatever, and then once they're killed, blast them with your Plague Marine combo, Death Shroud combo with a character, and more Death Shroud combos and more Lords of Contagion, because yeah, but Huron is coming rich. So am I right now. Will and Russ are awesome books. Yes, they are. Right, yeah, Chewie met his wife because she's basically held him up with Cash Point and held him up ever since. What is that you're painting, mate? This is Scuttles by a floated bloat drone, but he is a floated bloat walker. He's a conversion. I wanted my, I like the idea of the one with a heavy blight launcher to look more like a little bit like a combat tank type of thing. So I converted a Venom crawler that I had lying around with some spare bits. So basically I had the spare bits lying around. So I made another floated bloat drone just out of bits. And I quite like it. So I mean, it's like the drone that's flying about is one of the plague spewers, whereas this one's like sort of. Actually, now that I think about it, don't you think it kind of looks like those walkers from, is it the Clone Wars or something like that, or like the, what's that terrible second Star Wars film called? Attack of the Clones. That's the one. It kind of looks like the walkers that they've got as well, doesn't it? Oh no, they've got a mouth turret, I think. What version did you start playing 40k on? 3rd edition, the one that came with the Space Marines and the Dark Eldar. Blue Lion, evening. The Floated Blood Drone is such a good kit for converting other vehicles into Death Guard vehicles. Yes, it is. All the spare bits you've got. Cool, he has 3 Calidus tanks too. Calidus tanks? What's a Calidus tank? Oh, wait. You talk about the, you talk about the Custodes. Yeah. Hot take. I hate all of the Custodes vehicles that Forge World made. I think they all look awful. They look nothing like Custodes at all in any way whatsoever. I never liked them. The fact that they had to bring out like a transfer sheet so you could actually have any detail on the model just shows that they're just. I think they were just a project someone had on and they went, "Oh, do you want to make them Custodes vehicles?" Went, "Oh, all right, go on then." Told you. The Forge World big metal tank. Ooh. I broke the flight stand on my 3rd ed box land speed and ended up using the trees from the box as a flight stand for it. Well, it's not a bad idea to be fair. The cheeky Myphitic Blight, a cheeky Myphitic Blight. Oh yeah, big Lascans. Yeah, I just don't like those. I don't like those Custodes vehicles. It's because Myphitic Blight. Yeah. I got there in the end. Now Strider. He's known as Strider. Round here, he's known as Strider. You compare like the Custodes dreadnoughts to the Custodes vehicles, look nothing like each other. The Custodes dreadnoughts look like Custodes. They've got all like eagles sculpted on all the plates, and they've just detail everywhere. And then the vehicles have no detail. They're just smooth. They don't match at all. If anything, if you think a Custodes vehicle would look like those Dawn Eagle jet, like a big version of a Dawn Eagle jet bike, so like the front of it would just be gigantic wings, look like something Judge Dredd would fly around in. You know what I mean? And yeah. I feel the same way about them the way I feel about L-shaped terrain. I've just never ever been a fan. And then they brought up that, I mean, slightly better, that crazy Sisters of Silence, like the big metal anus that they go around in, the big floating anus tank. Hello from the US. What part of the US, Liam? Let me know. Isn't that really important in the US? Because you could be completely one over end of the country, couldn't you? It'd be massively different. And plus, I'm just interested. Someone invited me to go to America. Was that Fit Hammer? If you follow him on Instagram, he said, "Oh, come over and we'll go to the gym and play Warhammer and stuff." Seems like a long trip, really, to go to the gym and play Warhammer, but still considered it though. I need bigger cans of Monster. These are no good. Right, what's going on? Custodies are like space tourists. Oh, don't. They're over as golden tanks. The rich get rich. Let's not make this political. Um, before Keir Starmer jumps into my live chat and probably cancels my live stream. East Coast, big fan of O'Connor. If you're East Coast, what colour sash do you have to wear off your hip? If you're East Coast, what's that? Is it blue or red? Which colour sash do you have to wear? Um, the same designer probably did the Blood Angels. Ooh, ooh. The sanguinary guard in their cosplay, the cosplay suits. Yeah, we don't talk about that. You'd thrive in the US with the size of the Monster cans, Rich. Went to Louisiana last year and they had Monster cans the size of my head. I'm going to assume by that you have a massive head. There's a club near me that uses MDF eye-shaped terrain. Oh. They ended up becoming a meta chasing hyper competitive and ate each other alive. Yeah, I can't be doing with it. I can't be doing with it. Someone just deliberately parking like 1 inch away from an L terrain just so they can't see them, and then they just pop straight through the wall and move advanced charge you through another wall. You can't shoot them or nothing. It's just like that ain't for me, fam. It does my head in. It just doesn't seem. It just doesn't. I remember before, like I had a squad of Terminators go through a wall and fight some Necrons, whatever else happened, and then I couldn't shoot them because it was those L terrains where the bottom floor doesn't have any windows. But I was like, so I can't shoot them, but 10 Terminators have just walked through that wall. 10 Terminators have just gone through that concrete wall. And you're saying now I can't see someone through it because it hasn't got any windows. It hasn't got any windows. It's now got 10 Terminator-shaped holes in it from where my Terminators just went through. So I was just like, nah, this sucks. So it's just not immersive. It just looks terrible. My game club is supposed to partly, and we have some 3D printed terrain for us all using. I'll tell you what is though, right? So I'll go on about this L terrain stuff and how much I hate it and it's horrible. There's a channel on YouTube called Tabletop Skirmish Games, and he made 16 sets of terrain for a tournament because he's a nutter. And what he did, because he was making so many, and they're all identical, because he was making them to the dimensions. He 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 made like orc versions and stuff like that. So yeah, it was the horrible L terrain, but he was giving it like a thematic spin, and he was making it super cheap. So if anyone was wanting to do that themselves, they could watch his series, and it was awesome. Especially, I really liked it when he did like a grey city. Then he did like I think he did like a red version, and he did like a overgrown version, and he did an orc version. I think he did a snow version as well, but he was just doing it out like stuff he was getting out of pound shops and things like that, and it was brilliant. It was a really good series. I went and checked his channel the other day. I don't think he's been uploading much lately. He's gone into like other games, but that was brilliant what he did there. Let's have a look what we got here. What's your proudest Warhammer moment? What comes to mind? I was really happy when I went to Warhammer World. Got my Stormcast got into like the nominated for like a best painted. I didn't take them for that, but I got some. Like my army did some really cool thematic things while I was at that event at Warhammer World. It was like a narrative event instead of competitive, and it made me want to do more narrative based stuff from that point because I really enjoyed that. When it comes to like being like proud of stuff that I do, being able to do a channel, a YouTube channel that's doing quite well, I'm quite proud of that. I've never really been one for like painting competitions and stuff like that. I don't like them. I don't like painting competitions. I prefer painting challenges. I never liked the idea back when I used to go to like my local store. If there was like a painting competition on, people would say like, "Oh, I don't want to enter the painting competition because Rich is taking part and you'll just win." So I didn't want to then enter because I thought, well, if I enter, the people who do actually want to do something might feel discouraged from entering because they'll think that I'll beat them. Whereas I would much rather people did things like a challenge because then it's just on you and you get to do something cool and you can all help each other with it. You could obviously help someone with a painting challenge, but I feel like sometimes people get discouraged at something like people are going to go away, paint up something really well, and come back and then beat them. So I stopped sort of taking part in stuff like that. So if I ever did something like that on the channel, I would never do like a painting competition. Like, oh, I'm going to say that you painted the best and you're better than other people. I would rather do a challenge for you, and then there's no one really wins. It's just did you complete the challenge? And the challenge would be something that would maybe when you come out the other side of it, you would be you might have learned something or picked up something new. You know, if it's like a paint challenge, like a limited palette, or your challenge is to match maybe it's a set theme that you've got to go for. Do you know what I mean? Like I give you you get a random model, and your theme is you have to paint it as if it's from like an ice planet or an ice, like a part of one of the realms that's ice. So you've got to do so you get given a model, and then you've got to do it ice themed. So you're like, oh right, what am I going to do here? So there is no winner. It's just you've got to paint a model, and that's your challenge. The theme is ice. Do you know what I mean? So then you get this model, and you might not ever have painted it in that style, but now you're doing it in that style because that's your challenge. And no one's going to go, oh, you did the best ice version of that model. Just it was like, oh, I would never have thought of painting it like that, but because that was the challenge, then I really enjoyed it. Sounds like we need a Warhammer challenge. Well, that's Chewy. Like that's what I would do if if I ever did like Warhammer challenges to the community. Maybe I need to set up like a Discord or some sort of like thing. But that's what I would do. I would never be like picking out you're the best. You're better than these other people. It'd be more like, oh, here's what we're going to do. Plus, I think it's a really cool way to like learn a bit of like bit of lore as well. So if I say like, oh, you're all going to get an Age of Sigmar model, and you've got to paint it as if it's from the realm of Gur beasts. You might have to you might end up then going and reading a little bit about the realm of beasts and finding out a bit, and then you pick up on something that you didn't know about, and then that becomes like your spark for how you painted your model, and you didn't know that bit of lore beforehand. And then you can go back to the community and say, I like the idea of this. What do you guys think? I've just done the same thing chatting with Jack. Jack who does the Age of Sigmars. He's coming up with a theme for how he's going to do his Dark Oath, and he's going to do a Radakar the Beast conversion. And I was like, oh, you're doing like a shapeshifter as your warlord, and he wasn't going to do it as a shapeshifter, but now he is going to do it as a shapeshifter. So he's going looking into the lore in the realm of beast to see if there's what there is for shapeshifters. Runic Reindeer. Thank you very much, mate. I remember Rich when he wasn't big and ripped with all the tats. His painting has come a long way since. D&D, is that Dan? That Thornaby Dan? This is why I didn't bother entering my black coach in that other con. Was too many pro. I was just happy to finish my custom coach. So that's exactly what I'm saying. You didn't enter your black coach because you figured someone would beat you, but it shouldn't be like that. It should be more like you've completed your black coach, so everyone can then appreciate the fact that you've done that. It doesn't matter who painted to what standard. You know what I mean? You completed something. Do you do hobbies more fun with collaborative rather than competitive? Exactly, Rich. This is cool. Thank you, Stu, mate. Stu, still haven't sent him off. I can't stand the L-shaped soulless MDF terrain. Yes, welcome to Warhammer. That's the sentiment here. What was your all-time favourite model to paint? My wife wants to know. Soviet. My favourite model that I've ever painted is my Great Unclean one, who I call Malarox. Because at the time I was watching all of Duncan's Nurgle painting tutorials back when he was on Warhammer TV, and he did the Putrid Blight Kings, and then he did a multi-part video on a Magath Lord. So I took stuff from the Magath, from the warriors, the Putrid Blight Kings, the bits that I liked, and I basically applied them. Did he do a? No, I don't think he did a Great Unclean one. But I took the stuff from those painting tutorials that Duncan did, and then applied them to the Great Unclean one. So I like to sort of put the big dudes at the end of a painting project, because then you've sort of refined your painting by the end of it. So by the time I painted some demons and some Blight Kings and stuff, I was more familiar with the paint I was using, and the techniques, and then that accumulated in how I did my Great Unclean one. And first of all, I really enjoyed painting him because he's got like the two tones, like his belly is cream, and his arms and his back and that are green, and then he goes like to dark. He's got like a dark black like spine, almost like what's he called, Stripe from the Gremlins. So he's got like a black spike that goes down his spine, and then being able to do the fat and the guts. And then I really like doing grey horns, where the horns are grey. I really like painting that using what they're called, Skaven Blight Dinge, those like more creamy coloured greys. They're really good for doing horns because they could go really well when you wash them with a brown. That's why I watch your channel. Fantastic Tales of Train. Love everything you do. Thanks, Marshall. Cheers, mate. Have I missed painting? Mate, Ryan, I've painted I've put wash on four. That's not like buddy. 3, 5, 4, I smell the fingerprint of scum. I put wash on the 4 feet of scuttles. That's all I've managed to do while talking. He never started. Yeah, basically. I haven't. The Nighthaunt were any good now, I'd have brought it back to the channel. Just come back to the channel anyway. People want more Sigmar. Have you sold any of your older Sculpt Edition Middles? I have recently because Starmer made me a... I sold a Astra Militarum army, and I wish I never did it, but I wanted money at the time. I did, speaking of Duncan, I followed Duncan's guide for the Tempesta Scions, so I did them in the standard blue and gold. I did a full army, but it was cack in game. It was so pants. I got no enjoyment out of using them. They did nothing and died. And back then, making an army of Imperial Guard, like making an Imperial Guard army with Scions, was so stupidly complicated that I just wanted to have a Hellhound. I just wanted to have a Leman Russ. And it was like, no, you can't have that. You've got to do this. You got to have that detachment. I was like, how about I just sell the army instead? And I had a really cool shadow sword. Not a shadow sword. Would you call one with the Gatling guns on the front? Whatever the Baneblade variant's called. Fuck is that called? Whatever the Baneblade variant's called, it's got the Vulcan cannon on the front as a transport capacity. I had one of them in the army as well. It was really cool, and I sold it for really cheap. Yeah, we need a Warhammer Discord +1. What does +1 mean? Why didn't you message me? I put it on my Instagram. Why didn't you look at my Instagram, Ryan? Huh? That's why I watch your channel. If the night if you've sold, I appreciate how you lads have law and stuff like that in your armies and stuff in it. Adds more about. Yeah, well, I think if you don't add your lore and you don't make your battlefields look thematic, well, then you're just smashing grey plastic men together, and I ain't about that. I'd like to get I'm very visual with it. So if I can't visualize what's going on, then I'm not interested. Heresy, Strider Heresy is great for doing that. That's more, I don't actually care when it comes to Heresy, how the game Heresy works, because I know it's based off 7th edition anyway. I didn't really enjoy the game mode anyway, back in the day when I played it, but the setting itself makes me want to do it, rather than the actual game itself. Stormlord, yes, that's the one. That's the one I meant. New Age of Sigmar vids when? Well, when you get your arse here, mate. Have you just explained Nighthaunt now? Boring and just wanting to die. I don't know. I don't know the rules for my own armies. How am I going to know the rules for yours? Dragon Ogre Shaggoth charging up a hill into Tomb King Archers. Dragon Ogre Shaggoth's right. Was like my most favourite model, and I always wanted them to do Collect Sun Eater as well, because the artwork for him was mint. I saw someone do a digital mock-up of Kragnos as a Shaggoth, and it looked amazing. Dragon Ogre Shaggoth took an allied Chaos-based Demon list today and got domed by Custodes. Well, yeah, well, that makes us Custodes, isn't it? Bloodthirster died turn 1, yeah. I was actually going to message Andy today because I did that Trajan Valoris for him, made out of the Emperor's Children Heresy Praetor and Terminator armor, because Andy doesn't like the Trajan Valoris model. So for Christmas, I did him his own custom one, and I saw someone had converted Bastian Carphalos from the Stormcast into a Custodes as well. So I was going to send this conversion off to Andy and see if there was somebody else in his Custodes army that maybe we could make a mock-up and use a Bastian Carphalos conversion as another character for his army, but I'm not quite sure who that would be, because there isn't much in the army really. The Custodes, they haven't really, from when they brought them out, they haven't really added anything. First Heresy battle rep when? Well, to be fair, this live stream is delaying it because if I wasn't doing this live stream, I would have been painting this Kratos up. Funny story, Andy built this for me because I couldn't be asked filming a battle that day because we were running really late. So I said to him, "Oh, do you want to just build me some tanks?" So Andy built this, and then he built the side sponsons, and then he built the other side sponson, and he built it the exact same way. So I had two left sponsons for my tank. So I was like, "Oh, cheers, Andy, nice one." So I then had to like chop and convert up the other sponsons so it would actually fit on my tank properly, and you didn't have to like a spazzy upside down side sponson. Sorry for missing the Instagram post. How has the live been so far? Busy, very, very busy actually. I haven't been able, like I say, I've managed to put wash on 4 feet of my scuttles. So need model advice, Rich. Okay, right. Runic Reindeer, you type. Thank you, Ryan, for that. I'm gonna love heart your thingy-majig. Being dipping my toe into Sigma after being so heavily invested in 40k. I'm loving the Blight Lords. I'm a sucker for Evil Dead. I just want huge horde skeleton idiots. Well, to be fair, they've just added loads of stuff for skeletons. If you want to do Death Rattle, so this is the best time to do a skeleton army because they've got plebs and elite skeletons now, as well as loads of Unreal character models on horses and stuff. I've printed a load of trench terrain so I can have a narrative game against my mate's Krieg. That's sick. Right, so have you dabbled in the old world? Well, I used to be big into Warhammer Fantasy Battle back in the day. I had a Bretonnian army, a Dwarf army, and a Vampire Count's army. But then I got a bit sick of it. The game was always very samey, and there was the terrain never seemed to interact very well with old world. Everything seemed to just get in the way. There was no interaction with it. You couldn't have your models go on it and stuff like that, and it always seemed to be just. I think we playing this. It seemed to be like Groundhog Day with the games of old world. So when it sort of it disappeared, but I'd already stopped playing it. So the reason they got rid of it was because there was probably a lot of people like me who just basically just stopped playing. Sons of Horus are not the best heresy chapter. Alpha Legion are. Fight me. No, I mean, no. The Alpha Legion are just no. Alpha Legion are awesome, but there's a reason it's called the Horus Heresy, mate. It's not called the Alpha Legion Heresy, is it? He's washed his feet and been busy chatting with everyone. Yes. Oh, I haven't washed my own feet. My own feet stink. I've got a Skarak the Bloodborne. I want to proxy as a Knight Rampager. Skarak the Bloodborne. Oh, that's the one that looks like bad CGI, isn't it? Yeah. That's the dog head one, isn't it? I want to proxy as a Knight Rampager. Do I need to put cork under it to make it taller? I don't think so, mate. I think as long as it's on the right size base, I mean, I don't think it makes any difference. But the problem isn't that model like, isn't that Skarak Bloodborne like screaming at the floor? Like, doesn't that model look like that Mexican guy screaming at a boiled egg? Yeah, I think that so I would mount him on like some ruins, like get some ruins and build up his base so like one of his feet is raised up, so at least he's like looking sort of out over the battlefield rather than down at the floor, because if I remember the model rightly, he just looks like he's screaming at the floor. Still going, bro. How's the stream been? I'm just answering everyone's questions, mate. To be honest with you, it good. Need to show you using sponge, because that's Army's looking insane so far. Well, here's a sponge. You can see the different colours I've used. Yeah, well, if he's a bit hunched, and that would just build him up with a bit of cork and some, if you've got any spare bits of ruin to build up, look like he's like smashing a city apart or something, or a building. My science army was also started from that awesome Duncan Roads tutorial, mate. It's been taken down now. They've been taken down? Why? Have they really taken down all the old Duncan guides? They're better than the new guides. The new guides suck. Usher and Mortark Delusion is an amazing Age of Sigmar model. Major Dark Souls vibe. Yes, it is. You've just made remind me of when he dunked my Lord Vordry. Need to use Susan a sponge. Ooh, sponging. I just did sponging with battle damage on some Death Guard for the first time ever a few nights ago. It's perfect for the vehicles. It's going to be perfect for this, to be fair. Like, I've already started, you're not going to be able to see because of the camera use. I've just started, like, I was doing the chipping along the edge of the armour with just a brush, but I was using the sponge to do, like, sort of splash damage onto it as well. That's why I put the transfers on, because I started chipping the armour. I was like, oh, hang on. If you're going to do chipping, you want your transfers on your vehicle first, so you can then chip some of the transfer off as well, because it makes no sense if the tank's getting hit with, you know, debris and bullets and whatever. Some of it's going to take some of the transfers off, and the stuff on the tank's going to get hit as well. It's just a shame that there's no bigger panels on this Kratos, because I could have put some of the cooler big red eyes of the Sons of Horus transfers, because I bought the Forge World transfers for this. It is an absolutely unreal tank, this though. It looks absolutely mega. I've got me. I've just been putting transfers on my Saturnine as well, so he's got the transfer just on his shoulder. I was thinking of putting something on his shoulder pads, but I quite like how his shoulder pad looks. To be honest, like that, I don't want to distract by putting a big red eye on there. And then same for my Contemptor. He's just got the Legion number. What is that? 16. Yeah. Who's 14? Is that Death Guard, isn't it? Yeah, that makes sense. Also, Rich, did you see that new 40k Angron model they revealed last year? It's finally gone pre-order. I don't know if it's a bit of a hot take, but I don't like that new Angron model. I don't know why. It's why are his wings in a different postcode to the model? I think sometimes Forge World really struggle with, like, when it comes to, like, the silhouette of a model, if you know what I mean, and framing of a model. I think they really struggle with that sometimes. It was the actual article today where they showed that it was on pre-order. Easy, Tiger, right? When they showed it was on pre-order, they even, like, had two images of Angron. One where it was, like, zoomed right out so you could see his wings, and then there was one where you could see Angron himself, without the wing. His wings are just, like, stuck up here because they're, like, 16 mile higher than him. And I thought, well, doesn't that show you something, that the model just doesn't really work, in my opinion, because his wings can't even be shown in a photo of him properly. They don't frame him. When you're looking at him straight up, his wings are that way on instead of out. I don't like it. Plus, I think of all the old Primarch models, the original set, Angron was actually my favourite of all of them. I wasn't a massive fan of many of those. I like Horus Ascended. Eventually I would like to get Horus Ascended for my Sons of Horus and use him. I think that would be really, really cool to have Horus in a battle report, because Andy's got Night Haunter, Leman Russ and Ferrus Manus. If you saw the Instagram post showing off Ferrus Manus the other day. But yeah, I don't actually like that new Angron model. Don't like his wings. His wings should be framing his model rather than being up 10 foot above him. Well, going to the size of the model, about 50-foot wings, aren't they? Member for 6 months. Thank you. And you've been a member for 6 months. That's awesome. Way easy. Tiger watches. just put the new Fellblade kit together myself. Great kit. Yeah, it looks awesome. I saw one the other day done in the red Thousand Suns metallic colours, and it looked awesome. Do you think Chaos Rhinos will stay into 11th as I look? Yeah, they'll just Rhinos are just I've got a million Rhinos myself. They're just going to keep making money. Yeah, I was 14 years old. Are you planning on doing any more of your own painting tutorials? I want to. There's many things I want to do. It's just, if any of you've got a painting area that's like mine, it's a bit of a mess. So if you want to try and film a painting tutorial, you've got to then tidy everything away, put all your paints away, get out the paints that you want, get just the paintbrushes out that you need, and then you've got to. It just takes longer to film, and if you're getting in from work and you're going to the gym and all the rest of it, it's just slightly harder for me to film painting tutorials. I think what I should start trying to do is maybe just do like a part of the model, like Ryan was saying about the sponging the green on, like just how do I sponge the green on? Sponge green again, then I wash with brown in the recesses, and then I sponge the highlight colour on, then I chip it, bit of silver, done. That's pretty much how I do the green for my Sons of Horus. I could do a video on that, and that would be pretty quick, really. And I could even do like YouTube shorts of that. But then my YouTube shorts I've been uploading lately, I keep deleting them because they're getting no views. And I don't want to tank views on my channel, so I'm just deleting them. So I don't know what's going on with YouTube shorts at the moment. Just doing my head in. I've been pressuring him to get these painting videos out for ages. I'll up the pestering. You do that, Ryan. Do it in person. Show your face. Are you planning on getting the new Huron and doing some red Corsairs? I am not. Hello, I'm back. Don't know what happened there. Everyone still here? No, I'm not planning on doing Huron Blackheart. No. Although I do like Huron Blackheart, and he's one of the first short stories I ever read was about Huron Blackheart. It was about an loyalist assassin, like Space Marines assassins who were going to try and kill Huron Blackheart, but then he was onto him, and he ends up like chopping this White Scar's arms off and locking him up, and then basically reveals that he's going to put him in a dreadnought and turn him into a nutcase. Lotharen Saren. Lotharen Saren looks good though. Who's Lotharen Saren? How do you transport your stuff to games? Magnetic trays or phone book? I just game here. Well, to be honest with you, if I'm going over to Daily Dice for a game, I'll be honest, I just prefer everything in a box lid, and hope they don't break on the drive there. I'm a bit of a nightmare for that. I just take super glue with me. Warforge member for 5 months now. Awesome, thank you. When I get some more Night Lords painted, we should bat rep. Where are you from, Warforge? Whereabouts are you actually from? Just testing, still here. Give me a few minutes, I'll be ready. Ryan, your chaplain with jump pack and jump marines are still here. Litter in my house, as bad as Andy. Lotharen is Angron's human ship commander lady. Her model is also going on pre-order today with his. Oh, yes, yeah. Hey, the nice space orc war boss. Greetings from Germany. Hey, Max. All right, Tyne and Weir. Yeah, send me some photos over on Instagram. See what we can sort out. Because Andy's also got Night Lords. He did leave his converted massive executions with me for me to paint up, which he converted out of Fabius Bal, but I accidentally dropped a dice tray on top of it and smashed it to pieces. And I don't think he knows yet that I smashed his model to pieces. So I hope he's not watching. So yeah, Andy, I'm working on it. Yeah, let's all move on. Well, you got H Quinn, so Harley Quinn, Warforge. I would love to one day be like, like Tabletop Tactics, where they can actually do events and like all people who are like watch the channel and be members of the channel could all like meet up. At the moment, it's just my own house. Do you know what I mean? But one day I would love to be able to have an event where like I had enough people who were like fans of the channel and stuff who could actually come. I guess I could do it at the ProTech Games in Stockton. They've got loads of space, and Percy has been on the channel. He runs the place. That would be good, wouldn't it? Like an actual Warhammer event in person. And I could even bring like the terrain from the channel to the to the to the event, so you could actually play on the tables that are from the channel. Do you know what I mean? You could, and if any of the lads from the channel wanted to take part as well, you could end up playing the lads who were already on the channel at the event. I would like to do something like that. That would be cool. A lot of things like, I feel like the channel needs to be like bigger, you know, to get to that point, to be able to do something like that. Oops, Oxazenos, ignore me. Well, Raging Horn, that's awesome. Oxazenos, I have got a Kroot army that Andy gifted me, and I would like to basically get that done. It's 1,000 points, and well, Kent, that is a drive. Like, I would like to have a few like 1,000 point armies on the channel as well for 1,000 point games. I'd like to start doing some members videos as well, and I think the 1,000 point games, like, I think if I uploaded a video with like Kroot, it'll probably do no views because there's no Kroot players, and Tau players obviously are all just too busy hugging their hentai pillows and that. So to be watching my battle reports. So I think doing some members only videos with maybe like lesser known factions would be quite cool for making them members only. So that way I don't have to worry necessarily about views. I'm not like I do like mad views on my channel, but I don't want to. YouTube can be weird, and if you crash your views, it can like affect the rest of them. So but having like, say, like Kroot versus some other like obscure 1,000 point army would be really cool. It's just getting the buggers painted because a million of them, because of no points are there. Kroot versus mostly just Kroot eating Poxwalkers and Poxwalkers eating Kroot. Yeah, it is a hard life being a Tau player, having to put your pink ribbons in your pigtails every morning and that. Yeah. What advice would you give if I was wanting to film my own bat rep? What advice would I give someone to film their own bat rep? Hold your camera steady, because I was a bit rapid when I first started. Make sure the person that you're playing against is aware of what you're doing, that you're filming. Make sure the person you're playing isn't constantly talking over you. Make sure the person you're with isn't swearing all the time. Make sure you are explaining what you're doing. Make sure your opponent explains what you're doing. But you can do that with leading questions. You know what I mean? If you say to your opponent, right, what is your plan? What are you doing? You know what I mean? It's not. What's one of the things, like when you're playing a battle rep on the channel, you are just basically telling your opponent what you're doing. Do you know what I mean? And you've got to, yeah, fine. I've told my opponent what I'm doing, but we're filming a game for people to watch, and it's not. We're trying to be a little bit competitive, but also make it fun and interesting. And if some people sit and paint while watching, you got to think, like, is someone just listening to this? And I think sometimes they are. And if you're not being descriptive enough, or who you're playing isn't being descriptive enough, the people won't be able to follow along. So sometimes I like to assume that maybe the person isn't actually even looking. They're just, sometimes like me, I'll just be sat painting. So I try to make sure when I'm speaking that I'm being descriptive enough, because I used to work at Games Workshop years ago, and we had like rules for, like, if you were doing like introductory games for people, so you'd always be listening out, see if the other staff were doing it, then just say, "Oh, pack that in." Do you know what I mean? Don't do that when you're talking. So you had like it was always the main one was like calling your models guys. So if you're like, "Oh, right, your guys are going to shoot your mate's guys over there," you've instantly, you don't know what you're talking about. But if you say, obviously, if your Space Marine intercessors are going to fire their bolt guns at the orc boys in the cover, you've instantly just said and instantly the person listening can visualize Space Marine intercessors with bolt guns shooting at orcs in cover. You know what I mean? You've instantly just painted a picture in someone's head. But if you say, "Oh, these guys are going to charge those guys," well, what is that? Who? What guys? Who? The person listening would have to then look up to see what you were pointing at, and if you are not pointing at them as well, then you are really going to throw people off of what you're actually talking about. So make sure, like, when you're talking, you don't fall into the trap of calling everybody guys. Make sure you're being descriptive enough when you're talking. Make sure you're not flinging the camera all over the place. I know some people don't necessarily like that I have a dice tray, but I just I like to have a lot. I like to have a lot of terrain and thematic terrain and little bits and bobs. And if you start throwing dice on the tray on the table, they're going to end up underneath ammo boxes, underneath terrain, all over the place, and you're going to spend 10 minutes trying to find them and see what you've rolled. So I try my best. I've been doing a lot more of like cutting out just ineffective shots. I might do one wound and try to get just focus on like when the big cannon fires or when the main guns fire or the main guy or the something that would actually make a difference. If you've got 20 orcs and they're getting shot by a few bolt gun rounds, yeah, you're going to take 2 orcs out, right? Okay, I could film that, or I could just go, right, 2 Space Marines just gun down 2 orc boys there with the bolt guns. Now we're going to go over to the repulsor executioner, which is going to fire its laser destroyer at Mapua Death Dread. Do you know what I mean? Things like that. Having it's daft little things as well. I went and bought those big wooden dice to be my command points. So that's very easy for people to see on video, like, oh, that's how many command points got. They've got great big dice. It's also easy for us to keep track of as well, because it just helps people watching. I wish I could do more digital stuff on screen, but yeah. Yeah, are you planning on streaming often? Well, this is my first stream, and it's quite fun, to be fair. I quite like it. Maybe I should maybe do streams and maybe a like a theme or something like that. Do you know what I mean? Like maybe a theme to the theme to the stream. Oh god. Um, and we just talk about like maybe to do like an Age of Sigmar stream or a 40k Heresy stream, or maybe to do like a painting stream or a modelling stream. I don't know, but maybe I could do that. But because of the way my job works, I work like late and I work on call on like a rotation. So I can't say like, oh, it'll always be a Sunday because this Sunday coming up I'm work. Is it Sunday today? Yes. Sunday next week I'm working and I'll be on call, so I couldn't plan a stream because I could be just out all night working, which makes it a little bit awkward. So I'd rather try and like that's why like setting up a Discord and stuff I think would be quite good because I could let people know. I'd put it on Instagram. I did a post on YouTube, but having like a Discord and stuff would be good. Put a poll up, a stripper poll. I might get more super chats, to be fair, if I put a stripper poll up. I've G2G here. It's really got to go. All right, yeah. I feel like I'm back on MSN Messenger here. Really cool. Nice to meet you. Cutie. Also, see you later, catch and fang. Original for sometimes I just listen while I paint, look up at the interest points. Yeah, well, that's what I mean. Yeah, tower players do have it rough. To be fair, can't be easy getting games when they're not allowed with. What advice would you give to someone wanting to start their own YouTube channel? Blue line. So, um, I did a little. I filmed a few things beforehand and edited them up. So like just to get me a start, I filmed like 4 games beforehand. So I didn't have to pressure myself to like get content out. I basically was like, I'm gonna do like a battle report a week type of thing. So and I filmed them all beforehand, and then I had like a month's worth of videos already done, and then I could work in the background and upload more. Um, as far as advice for making a YouTube channel, I think staying active with talking to anyone who comments on. I think well 2 things when it comes to it, right? Obviously, you've got to go and buy all your tech stuff. Like, not that I did. I went and bought a second-hand phone to record from, and I just got an app to edit. But what's more important, I think, is speaking with the people who comment on your channel and trying not to be like generic or boring or try. if someone said, sometimes you, if it's just a compliment, just make sure you're always replying to people to show that you appreciate the comment, um, and try and show interest in what people are saying, your fans of your channel. And then another thing that is promoting your channel as well. It can feel a bit awkward sometimes when you turn up on like Facebook groups or Instagram and you're saying, "Oh, can you please go to my channel and do this?" But at the end of the day, if you don't do it, then you won't get anywhere. I always think of like he probably does your head in, but The Rock, the the wrestler actor, whenever he's got something coming out, he's everywhere. Do you know what I mean? He's flying over your house in a plane and that with like a banner hanging out the back of it saying "Watch my new film." He does like 1,700 million interviews. He's everywhere promoting his stuff. Do you know what I mean? And you think, mate, you do one, you're relentless. But that's how he's so successful. Do you know what I mean? Because he promotes his stuff. So I think if you're going to do your own channel and you want people to watch it, you're going to have to put the work in and go and let people know and promote it as well as part of it. You can just upload something and see how it does. But the way I see it is like you might upload a video to YouTube, yeah? Make sure that you do all your correct hashtags and you put all the correct keywords and stuff like that that would be important for your video. Warhammer 40,000 battle report, Space Marines battle report, stuff like that. If that's what, for instance. But where was I going with that? So if you don't go out and let people know what you're doing, you can upload something to YouTube and YouTube's algorithm might get you. So for instance, you upload a video and YouTube's algorithm gets you 100 views, yeah? And then you went out and you promoted your video and that got you 2. So YouTube got you 100 views and then you put your own work in promoting it and it got you 2 more. Well, the way I see it, that yeah, it's nowhere near as many as what YouTube gave you, but you still got 2 extra by putting that extra graft in, by going on and promoting it on other places. So for me, that's all that matters when it comes to that. And yes, it takes. So whenever I upload a video, I go off to like the different social medias and stuff, and it takes me hours to do it all. So every time I upload, I have to make sure that I've got time spare. So I do it when I get in from work. I'll have something to eat, and then I'll have my video upload, and it might take me another 2 hours to like go everywhere and respond to everything and post everywhere, all the pictures and stuff of the games. But like I say, it could get me a few more extra views or followers or super chats or whatever it would be, by putting the extra work in. And that's what you need to do, in my opinion, as well as all just making sure your videos are clear and concise and you're as best quality as you can do. Video idea, faction swap. You play Andy's cheesy custodies, Andy plays your chaos. A taste of good. I do actually want to do that. I do actually want to use the custodies. I actually want to use Space Wolves as well. Search engine optimization is a real term in modern marketing. Lots of interesting stuff to learn about out there. The most important thing that most YouTube people say about this is simply to be consistent and stick through it. Yet, any word on that 40k game with Valrak? I don't know if Valrak did pop up. Chris, Valrak did pop up in the chat earlier. To be fair, he might still be here for all I know. I don't know who's still in the chat apart from who's commenting. What advice would you give for someone that doesn't want to re-roll a 1 into another 1? Don't play on Warhammer, because that's what's going to happen. I think Discord is generally also good for just cultivating an active community, everyone able to talk with each other. So what I was saying earlier, Ryan, about I don't like painting competitions, I like painting challenges. I think that Discord would probably be a good place for me to do stuff like that. If I can create some interesting hobby challenges for people who are interested in doing that, and then sharing it with other Warhammered fans, whether they're members who are beans, or Monster Ultimates live. I had a game today. Limp Brisket, let me know about your game, please. While I'm going to have to scroll back through these chats here. But I think Discord would be really good. You're a Bonnie man, but I don't think I want to see you on a pole. Don't lie to me. I think doing some hobby challenges on Discord would be great. especially if I can sort of link them a little bit to the the lore as well to make them thematic. Do you know what I mean? With the especially if we can learn a little bit, like, you know, if I make like a 40k challenge and I link it to the 500 worlds, you might actually have to go and like read a little bit on what's happening with the current 500 worlds and the latest narrative thing that's happening in Warhammer 40,000, and then you'll be sort of, pardon me, up to speed with the lore and what's happening. Learn a bit there, and then you've got a bit of a hobby challenge linked to it as well. You won 94-34. I hope you lubed your opponent up before going in that hard on them. He ran an all cultist list with Be'lakor. Okay. There's no need to. There's no need for that, mate. There's no need to go that hard on him unless you didn't like him. But yeah, I think I'm going to look into. The problem I've got is my phone, which keeps buzzing. Who was messaging me here? Right. Hey up, Rich. Good to see you live, mate. Just passing through. Got an early start. Hi, Nick. Enjoy your early start. Look forward to the next 40k bat rep. Have to now assert dominance over my son and get in the shower first. Just press the back of the head, and arm into the neck. You know, throw it into the corner of your arm. Be sleeping no time. Any tips on painting white, e.g. Templar shoulders? I've tried Corax white, Ulfan grey, all sorts of things. But it always ends up looking chalky and rubbish. Yeah, Sam at Daily Dice, he sprays his shoulder pads separate. He actually sprays them up and then paints them and then does the trim instead. I hyped your video. No white monster hand delivered. It's on its way. It's on the back of a turtle. Any chance of Sigmar on the channel again? Yeah, well, I've been speaking to Percy. Percy's got the Hellsmiths of Hashut to come on the channel. He's painting them up. He said he'd have them ready for February. Got Jack, who's going to come back on. No one thinks Raven Guard are the best chapters, Stu. Come on. No one thinks that. Not even Raven Guard players. What was I saying? Lost my train of thought now. I've just been sneak attacked by Raven Guard. Oh yeah, Sigmar. I've got the new Maggotkin book, so I want to try and get something done for them. So I think probably the next game would be Maggotkin. Slots of Hellsmith. I think the next game would be basically Maggotkin versus someone against Jack, probably. Then I'll get Percy on with his Hellsmiths. Percy's also got his own Flesh Eater Court army, which is different to Jack's. And my cousin Michael's got Night Haunt, and he needs to pull his finger out and get over here as well. Because the thing is, right, every time you play Age of Sigmar, yeah, every single time you play a game of Age of Sigmar, you think afterwards, that was so much better than 40k. Every single time you have a game of Age of Sigmar, you just think, that was so much better than 40k. Why don't I just play this more often? It's like 40k is easy or something. Because I don't know, it's something about 40k that it's like easy to just lean back on and just do 40k. You've always got your models there. You see, you just because I know the rules, just pick it up easier. But yeah, switching between them is a good idea. But I don't know, I don't know, something about Age of Sigmar, the way it plays, it's just really, really good. I am a repeated guest on Southeast Wargaming YouTube. So what you just go on their channel, do you? Egoi of Sigmar look a lot more fun than 40k. Richie, as a small child, took your phone off you or something. What's going on? Agio, isn't that where people pull like those? Isn't that where like Twitch girls like pull face like that? Isn't that what that is? An Agio, and then people send them loads of money to pull stupid faces. Played one game of 40k in the summer for the first time in ages, and we were bored of our tits by turn 3. Well, if it was Horus Heresy, you'd only have one more turn left. AOS tournament down near Richmond, 45 minutes away on Feb 15th. You want me to send you some info? Um, I don't know whether I'm going to be going to any events. I think the problem I've got is whenever I've got free time, I always feel like I should just film for myself. No, I'm having a stroke. Okay, well, enjoy your stroke, Richie. Hopefully you can still type afterwards. Hopefully your typing hand survives. Um, I'm so glad you said that, mate. AOS scares 40k players because double turns, but when you understand the game, it's a really nice system that lends itself to a lot of skill. Um, his audio gone off. Was my mic not working? Can people still hear me? Audio good on my end. Ryan, you might also be having a stroke. Um, Apparently my live stream is killing off my fans of the channel. I'm not sure what's going on. If you are feeling a tingling up your left arm, uh, please call a doctor or something. Now Bacon Golem, how are you doing? It's robbing it. So I don't know why a few months back, YouTube switched everyone's names over like the other version. I've been playing a few games of Spear and I want to get into AOS. Yeah, you should do because AOS is mint. And I really like how in this edition, every single battle plan has like a whole like little system that changes up how the game works. So instead of like how in 40k you randomly draw your cards and that changes the game, in AOS the all of the twist and everything is already built into the game that you're playing. Yeah, so it was just saying about Kill Team. Well, I did speak about Kill Team earlier. I wouldn't like to do Kill Team on its own. I would like to do Kill Team linked in with a bigger battle. Like I was saying earlier, basically like destroy the void. So put a void. I do have a void shield generator, just not built. Oh Christ! Put a void shield generator on a 2k points game, and then have a game of Kill Team for the power generators for it. If they destroy it, by turn 2, turn 3, then it shuts down in the big game. What's my gym split? I do chest, then I do back, then I do legs, then I do shoulders. By that point, it'll be the end of the week, and then I'll do whatever. I tend to try and get legs in twice a week, and then I might do like a arm day if I feel like it, but I'll generally just go chest, back, legs. Then I'll try and get shoulders and legs in again in a week. That's how I tend to do things. Sometimes I'll go in early and do abs before anything else. Is Kill Team a possibility? Though that sensation was Nurgle messing. I've been playing a few games. Audio fine, hello, I can hear you, cool. It's funny, I'm an avid AOS player and have more fun playing 40k. It's one of those things where you have fun playing the game you aren't so meta about. Yeah. I don't even know what meta is in Age of Sigmar. I don't keep up with it, so I could take the most powerful list going. I wouldn't have any idea if I had or not. Your channel's been well with. Thank you, Limp Brisket. Limp Brisket. The perfect bro split. I love it. Well, see, Ryan, if you see in the chat there, Ryan, I know Ryan from the gym. Ryan used to go to the gym, but now he's stopped going. He's pied us off. That's why you enjoy it. Spearhead magazine coming out in a couple of months as well, like the Combat Patrol magazine for more cheap models for the backlogs. Yeah, well, what I used to do is I subscribed to the first ever one that they did when they first started doing those monthly ones. I've got the first one, but ever since then I've always just went to Forbidden Planet and I just look to see which ones they're selling, to see if there's anything I want to pick up. If they're selling like, a character that would be 20 quid and they're selling them for like 8-9 quid, I'll just buy that if I want that. I just keep an eye on Forbidden Planet. see see which ones are coming up. That's what I used to do. I don't really do it as much now because I've got my backlog's too big anyway. But I like to let the other lads know. I still go you egg, just in Borough. You'll see me all bloated on the channel one day. Maybe a Raven Guard kill team. Well, to be fair, right, that's why kill team and that's so good, isn't it? Because every like we all want to do we all want to do like 1,000,001 armies, but you know fine well you're going to go, oh, I'm going to do Raven Guard. Oh, nice one, I'm going to do 2,000 points. It's going to cost me 500 quid and it's going to be how many units. But I only want to paint up some Raven Guards, then you do kill team and you paint up a cool like little squad of Raven Guard and then you're done, aren't you? And I think that's going to be that's a much better idea, just as a palette cleanse as well. And if I can then, I mean, I should do that anyway. I should probably look into doing that because it gives me an excuse to paint some things up that I want to do, and then I can just incorporate them into a kill team game. Are you going to do a 500 worlds campaign? Probably not going to do a campaign. I'm just going to try and keep on top of, if I can, uploading. I'm just going to keep uploading. I'll see you later, Richie, mate. Keep uploading new detachments as best I can when they come out. I've just filmed a battle report I'm going to upload later in the week. It was the new drop pod detachment versus the new Bastion strike force. Have you any updates on any of the films or series yet? Also excited to see what happens there. I don't think there's any updates, Ryan, on the films or anything like that, which is kind of odd. You'd think you'd get at least something, but I don't think there's been anything at all shown off for the what they're doing with the TV shows and the films and that. And I can't wait to see what it is that they come out with. Yeah, what are we looking at here? So, Kill Team has a competitive scene, but it uses narrative to reign significant events. Yeah, well, that's basically what well, not the competitive part, but doing, I think, narrative and significant events and stuff like that. That's what I'd like to keep on top of the lore for this 500 worlds as best I can. Okay, Limp Bizkit, enjoy work tomorrow. I'm on late shift tomorrow, so I don't start until 12, so it's another reason why doing this tonight wasn't too bad of an idea. And in 2.5 hours I've put Agrax Earthshade onto 4 feet of this guy. So we've got 38 people, so if I click on, oh, see you Rich, wife make me go to bed. You're a big boy now, you can tell her when you want to go to bed. Good night, Sue. Enjoy getting tucked in by the wife. What is that? That's this is Scuttles. He's my forted bloat walker with a heavy blight launcher. Off he goes. Look, there he goes. What did you use for the legs? It's a venom crawler. If you look, it's a venom crawler. What did I do with his legs? Did I put his legs in different spots? Yeah, I think so. Oh yeah, because I think the venom crawler legs go at the back as well, but I just put like he's got like little crab legs at the front, and then I just put the panel from a forted bloat drone over I snipped down part of it, and it just fits over the front. And then I just took the guns, the little tiny piddly chode guns that are on a venom crawler off the side, and I just put the ammo and the big gun from the drone to make it like a tank type. I wanted it to look like more like a combat tank rather than a drone, because it's got like a got like a big cannon on it. Plus, I just, like I was saying before in one of my videos, I don't like to copy paste my units as best I can. That's why I was avoiding Heresy, because I didn't want to paint the same thing over and over and over and over again. So I've been trying my best to try and keep my heresy army varied as best as I can, so I don't lose my mind painting the same thing over and over again. So the fact that I've got 240 blood drones but look completely different, arms completely different, that's better for me. I think it's better for battle reports as well. I think what I was saying earlier about being descriptive, I think listening to a battle report and someone says, okay, then my plague burst mortar fires, and then my plague burst mortar fires, and then my plague burst mortar fires. So, all right, okay. Do you know what I mean? You're just copy pasting the same thing over and over again. But if I say like Scuttles in his heavy blight launcher, you know that I'm talking about my little walker dude with his heavy blight launcher. If I say the assorted blood drone with his spewers, it's more, you instantly know what I'm talking about. Yeah, that was my biggest worry about painting heresy. So I've tried my best to make my units look different, so I don't have to keep just doing the same thing. Crazy kill switch, enjoying your mates banter battle style. Too many creators have moved to sterile, soulless, high production style. It's all samey and not for me. Yeah, well, the crazy kill switch, the way I see it was like the way I want my battle reports to feel. It's like if you've ever been in a Games Workshop or any sort of hobby club, and you see two people gaming, and you just go over and you watch. Do you know what I mean? If you just want to watch two lads having a game, and if they're having a laugh, and you just watch and you're having a laugh, you might just like be enjoying watching them two gaming. Do you know what I mean? If that's how it would be back in the day, gaming in the shop or gaming it anywhere else. If someone comes along and starts watching along, then fine by me. And if you know them, you have a bit of crack while they're stood there watching. And generally, people I think have like a good like. Generally, people know not to butt in too much, but they'll just watch the game go on, and if something funny happens, or they might go, oh, I think that rule is that, you know. Do you know what I mean? But try not to interfere too much in someone's game. I see that as sort of like how I'd like my games to come across as two lads, two mates gaming and having a bit of crack, and um, I try to talk and film so like the people watching are like the third man in a way, and I try to be like sort of welcoming and open to them as well, so they get in on the crack as well. That's why I like like when I first started the channel, I, I always thought like, oh, I wonder if like I always said like to people coming on the channel, don't make like in jokes, because obviously if someone's watching, they're not going to know what you're talking about. But eventually the channel created its own like in jokes of people screaming bees. Now someone messaged me before, right, and said that he was at an event, a 40k event, right, and this guy who was playing had Death Guard, and his typhus did his psychic attack, and this guy shouted bees while he was doing the attack, and this lad was like, "Do you watch Warhammered?" And he was like, "Oh yeah, I do. Yeah, I watch Warhammered." So he picked up that he watched my channel because the other lad shouted bees while he was launching his, and I was like, "That is amazing." So I like basically the idea of like the channel having like creating its own like jokes and stuff like that. So like people like laughing at my Death Dread or laughing at my Nurgle dice or screaming bees or white monster or whatever. Do you know what I mean? Or going on about Andy's rig dice or whatever it is. Do you know what I mean? I just I like I like stuff like that. I really do, because makes it feel like more of a community, because everyone sort of the people who watch the channel know these things. I didn't want there to be in jokes between me and my mates that people watching don't know about. I'd rather be something that um, people pick up on them from watching the channel. Like if you become like a channel member, one of the channel member options is to become one of the bees. But I would never have done that if I'd started members when I first started off the channel. That's just something that came out naturally. I just started screaming bees at one point because I was thinking about that movie with Nicolas Cage, The Wicker Man, where he punches that person dressed in a bear suit, and then they attack him with all the bees in his eyes, and I just started screaming that, and that became like a thing that people thought was funny, because I'm always doing like sound effects like the flies and when they're flying about. So it just came from that. So that's how that's how I sort of view the channel, and people watching is like just people like stood at the side of you. I like to imagine like there's someone stood like at the end of the table. Do you know what I mean? Like just watching you gaming. So you're trying to be descriptive for them and try and keep them included in the crack as well, and be like welcoming type of thing. I'm going to one of their events in August. I still have, weird reading this backwards. I still have the dice for the B on the 6th. If it is it legit to shadow box and do press ups during the shooting phase as a World Eaters player? That's what I did today. Only if you're a World Eaters player. Obviously, if you were like a Emperor's Children player, you wouldn't be doing you'd be doing squats, wouldn't you? You'd be doing squats and picking up dice with your anus. Uh, Mate, your channel is definitely a vibe. Game about a war, not a war about a game. Exactly. I'm trying to do that right. Ball like Peyton does. All the spiky bits of models. Um, it was a Typhus versus Typhus, and we both rolled for bees. Oh, yes, it was you, wasn't it? That's yeah, it was you. It's that I tell people about that all the time. I tell people about that all the time because I thought that was brilliant. Like people becoming like find out like you know the Spider-Man. You watch Warhammer. You watch Warhammer as well. Um, I love the idea of that. Of people like finding out to watch the channel through something like that and happening in a game. So if more stuff like that happens, I'd love to hear about that. Because I always said like I would never scream wah because I always watch Tabletop Tactics. Well, I don't watch them as much anymore, but I used to watch Tabletop Tactics anymore all the time. And whenever they screamed wah, it was just I couldn't get over how cringy it was. So I was like, I'm never doing that. I know I make sound effects and all that, but there's something about screaming wah that I think super cringe. So when they were doing it, I was always like, ugh. I'm glad one of us has got some hobby done, mate. Because I've got now done. Enjoy your supper, mate. To be honest with you, I'm gonna have to go soon as well because I think my phone's gonna die. Yeah, what am I on there? Oh, I don't know. The phone's power's on red though. Um, I definitely want to do. I definitely want to do channel merch. I don't want to do anything like. I'd like to do something that you could just wear and it wouldn't be like too garish or like if even it just said like Warhammered, but I don't have like a Warhammered actual. See, I've seen some people make YouTube channels and they've already got like their logo, their icon, their intro, everything's all done, and I don't have any of that. I don't have a logo. I don't have a banner. I don't have an intro. I don't have anything like that. I should really get it made because if I want to put it on a t-shirt, it needs to be like something that's recognizable. Do you know what I mean? So, and if I ever do dice, you know, imagine if I did like Warhammer dice, that would be cool. Um, but I've always just thought about just doing it as a WH. You know what I mean? On my light that I have behind me when I'm filming, with the Warhammer, it's like wars in pink and then the hammers in blue. And they're both in different fonts, like the idea of it being like neon on the pink. But you have the bees. Yeah, well, I've always thought like if I got like a Warhammered t-shirt or vest and it had like Warhammered, but it just had a bee. You know what I mean on it. It's only to be small. Um, it's not like you're not going to walk around with a gigantic bee on the back of your t-shirt, are you? Um, when are we going to see 40k Ultramarines? Well, I do have 3 Ultramarines. I've got 2 Intercessors with bolt guns, and I've got a Captain Titus conversion. Working on a Kit Bash Chaos Lord from Hellbrick. I like it. That Pete the Wargamer, wasn't it? Didn't he do a? Was it him or was that other lad who's got really cool Iron Warriors? Did made an Iron Warrior Lord out of Hellbrick. Looks sick. Where do you and Andy get your Warhammer themed t-shirts? All off eBay. I just go on eBay and I just type in like Warhammer merch or Warhammer t-shirt and to see what pops up. Normally most of the posts that you find have got like loads. You just scroll through and they're always like cheap, and then I just cut the sleeves off with a pair of scissors. I think I'm gonna have to put this. I think I'm gonna have to close this stream down soon because I think my phone's gonna die and I don't want it to just die. Um, I don't want the phone to just die halfway through I'm saying something. Good evening, Swabilius, the tattooed zoologist. Love the channel, always enjoy your games. Thank you, the tattooed zoologist. Perturabo, nice one. Hello, Perturabo. Goodbye, we love content. Great job, mate. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Yeah, so people were wondering what I was doing. I was doing scuttles, and then I was going to. I thought, oh, I'll get loads of paint done tonight. And then I brought this scenery piece down. So I thought, oh, I could just dry brush while talking, but I can't because I'm waffling too much. And then I've got what is this? Kratos, that's the one. What am I working on? Well, working on my Sons of Horus. This tank's nearly done. I've got some more Cataphracti Terminators. Check this out. I did show them off in the Bass Battle Report, but I bought. Has anyone played Space Marine 1? I bought Boss Grimskull from Artel. So, oh, Space Marine, what's that supposed to hurt? Yeah. So I've got Boss Grimskull, but I'm going to do him as a Bad Moon, because I want to do a Bad Moon Orc army with some different units to what I've got in my Goths. So he's absolutely massive. So look at him compared to put him next to a Cataphracti Terminator, the size of him. So I've got him, I'm going to do him up as a Bad Moon and slowly get my Bad Moons done. I have a Grimskull boss. It's class, absolutely wicked model. But you know what, Swabilius, I was actually, Swabilius? I don't know if I'm pronouncing the name right, but I was actually thinking about doing like a video where it was like how to do Warhammer and the gym at the same time. So it's like what I do before I go to the like the gym. So like do a bit of painting, get like some washes put on the models, and then go to the gym. Then what I do at the gym, I will train, and what I do when I get back, so the models will be dry then, and then what I'll do for like eat my food while someone else is like another wash is like drying on the model. Then have my post-workout meal, and then go back to them and try and crack on after that. So like that's like my system of like get some models, get some washes put on the model, go to the gym, train, come back, maybe do the next part while there's some food on the go. I just have a good system of painting, mate. Like I say, like this tank looks nearly done, and it looks pretty good. All things considered, considering how I've painted it was absolute doddle. It took me 2 seconds to get it to this point. To get this tank to this point took no time at all. So it's a little bit of like cheating to get yourself ahead. And I do that with a lot of my armies, where I could try to make things look good, but like there's a few like sort of quick stuff done. I don't do any airbrushing. I've never airbrushed before. This tank's actually painted with a dishwashing sponge. So I just get the army painter, the 3 different army painter greens that I picked out to be Sons of Horus greens, and I just put them on the palette, and I just dab it on, and heavy with the first, with the darkest, and then I build it up. Can't stay up popped in. Now Cameron, mate, I'm gonna have to go soon anyway. My phone's gonna die. But this was fun actually, so I think I'm gonna do this again. If any of you have got me on like Instagram or things like that, please drop me a message or comment on my post and say like what you think we should do next time. I know I'm going to do a live stream with Daily Dice soon as well, and that might help us be able to do a bit of hobby as well at the same time. I'm doing 1 push-up every time Warhammer rolls a 1 and a save, 1 sit-up to do 1 hit, and 1. Well, to be fair, mate, if you do that, you'd be absolutely jacked after 1 battle report. You'd be jacked just after the Chosen rolled those plasma pistol shots. Christ. So yeah, I'm going to. I don't know actually how I actually end a live stream. So tournament report. You know what I used to like? I used to like when I don't know if they still do it. Tabletop Tactics would do like the league, so their games were like competitive, and they would like talk about the tactics off camera. It's all camera trickery, Swabbly is. He's really 5'1" and normal size. Just got a new fridge and the packaging has me planning to make a siege board or Siege of Terror board out of the packaging for a fridge. Right. Okay. Now I'm gonna do that. Love your channel. My kid of 40k. Fargrim Horn Raven. Big polystyrene walls. That's why it fell, mate. That's why Peter Arvo got through it. We'll all be jacked there. That's going to be the war. That's going to be the Warhammered. It's going to be the Warhammered Discord challenge. You've got to paint this model like this, but you've also got to do X amount of press ups and squats as well. You have to. Your challenge is also to get more jacked by the summer as well. So everyone's all just posing with the models behind the doing double biceps, behind the painting challenge models. But yeah, I'm gonna look into doing the merch. I'm gonna look into doing a Discord and stuff like that, and I'm gonna look into doing more live streams, and maybe I might actually get something done in a live stream, possibly if I can work out some sort of system. But I'm gonna log off now because my phone's going to die anyway, so I'm going to be able to try and save this video as well. So thanks for stopping by, everybody, and I'll see you at the next live stream, because I'll definitely do another. Is this how you end it? I have no idea. Make sure you want to stop streaming.